Um, tired brain.
Good morning. Good morning, New Hampshire. I'll tell you, hey, how are you this morning, Chris?
Good morning, Kathleen. It's a beautiful day here in South Carolina. It's an even better day, of course, in New Hampshire. Less than 10 hours to go, and we're making some great progress.
It's awesome. Yeah. I am not the type of person that looks at my media, my social media or internet first thing in the morning. But of course, today I did. I wanted to see like those numbers keep climbing and more than 7,000 donors, almost $2 million. It's incredible. And we still have 10 hours to go, but like we've already seen the spirit of generosity just pouring forth.
It's been a fantastic day so far. I know you guys had a lot of fun at the PBS studios kicking things off last night. And we were watching the numbers climb late into the evening, well past midnight. I've got some great fun stuff planned here, kind of like the fellas did at PBS for when we start crossing these milestones this morning. And we've got so much great stuff planned here for you guys on the live stream throughout the day as well. So just kick back. You know, you can see, like I got my TV screen here. I see you on my TV, Kathleen. You can put your feet up with your YouTube on TV and then your phone in your hand where you can continue to make those donations. And we're going to have some fun today.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun, right? Giving is a fun thing, right? And so this is what giving days are all about, is helping people, you know, see the power of giving, see the power of coming together and learning about amazing nonprofits in our communities. You know, I enjoyed the spotlights on the Seacoast and the North and Lakes region. We're going to have more regional conversations. We're going to have other conversations later today. So it's great. And I know, you know, the matching prizes are always really exciting. So we had the big kickoff at 5 p.m. last night with 100,000, but we still have, I think, $80,000. We still have 5 times. Wait, is it 5 chances? 8, 9, noon, 3, and 4. So that must be 100,000 because it's 20,000 each time, right?
Exactly.
It's early for me to do math.
It is early. Yeah, there's tons of opportunities to get your donations matched. And the best time to do that is going to be the top of each hour as well. So make sure, like I said, you've got one eye on the live stream, but also at the top of the hour, your favorite nonprofits can really benefit from your donations as each of those hours pass by. So it's a great day to give. It really is.
It really is. And then we have golden tickets throughout the day and other incentive prizes, right? So there are different times. Anytime you're making a donation, you could be earning a prize. I mean, you know, that organization will be eligible for golden tickets and other things. And then we've got some other exciting prizes. I'm just looking at my notes here for a second. There's, of course, the end of the day prizes too, where we're looking at the organizations that raise the most dollars and that generate the most donors. Right. I've seen a couple of nonprofits remind their followers on social media that, you know, part of this is participation, and getting more people to contribute helps them win potentially that prize. And we have sort of the statewide power of many prize in that way, but also there are regional leaderboards in which the regions will participate, and there are some prizes for those who win the regional. And we've got regional sponsors, CNS Wholesale Grocers, been a supporter of the Monadnock region for many years. Chase Bank came on this year to support the Merrimack Valley, and new this year, Consolidated Communications came on to support the Seacoast region. So it's really exciting. Of course, we do also have North and Lakes region and Upper Valley regions as well in those regional drawing boards.
We do. And, you know, Kathleen and I are both looking right now at nhgives.org/prizes. Or if you go to the website and you click on incentives, you can go through and you can see all the details of all these different prizes that we'll be talking about throughout the day. We also want to take a quick second, Kathleen, just to acknowledge the sponsors as well. You know, a giving day is always made possible by the sponsors. And if you scroll down to the bottom of nhgives.org, you'll see the full list of all of those awesome sponsors that I know we'll be talking about throughout the day. I'm sure we'll see Kathleen again on PBS's stream later on today, shouting out all the sponsors as well. So we encourage you, like we said, to stay tuned. We've got some really fun stuff coming up this afternoon too. We've got a game show segment that we recorded the other day with Steve Varner and some awesome nonprofits. So you'll have to tune in at 2:00 to see who wins that. And we'll have some great group discussions throughout the day as well. Kind of like what you saw last night, but with more coffee. We'll have some wonderful New Hampshire-based hosts, and we'll have these thematic discussions from all around the state happening at the top of each hour up until 3:00, when I'll throw it back to our friends at PBS. So what a day this is going to be. I can already feel this 2 million milestone coming up here, Kathleen.
I know. I was thinking if I should do a throwdown like Greg did last night and say, I'm not leaving until we hit that $2 million mark. I mean, I think that, although I don't know, we've got a lot of videos to show. So
I know
what our timing looks like, Chris.
For Kathleen Reardon, we've got all the time in the world. I know Deborah's listening, but you're the boss. If you said we want to stick around, we stick around. That's what we do. That's the fun of live streaming video. And, I know our friends at PBS would agree. We're here to have fun. And most importantly, we're here for you guys watching at home, right? We want to share in those joyful moments with you. And now is your opportunity to help us push and get there. So we'll probably start playing some of these videos here in a moment, Kathleen. Yeah. And then at the top of the 8 a.m. hour, let's see who our host is. We've got Michelle Talwani coming on. So I'll have to make sure that we celebrate a little bit with Michelle before we get into that conversation.
That will be great. I do have to remind people of, we did have prizes overnight, right? And so it was exciting to see that, again, on social media, many people reminded people like, overnight, there are a couple of different prizes that are happening. And so keep giving. Yep. The Night Owl Golden Ticket was randomly drawn from all organizations receiving online donations between 10 p.m. and midnight. And that prize,
before you announce it.
I am going to have drum cues all the time now. Bringing it to my staff meetings. Yeah, I love it. So I'm sorry, I just messed up the drum cue by talking over it. The golden ticket for the overnight Night Owl Golden Ticket goes to NHSPCA. Congratulations. Okay, and then we had an early bird golden ticket. So randomly drawn from all organizations receiving online donations between midnight and 6 a.m. this morning. And that prize goes to New England Healing Sports Association. All right, so $250 extra going to both of those organizations. And remember, there are more golden tickets throughout the day, matching $20,000 on the table for that 8 a.m. hour. I think I'm gonna queue up some gifts going there as well. And it's going to be a great day again for New Hampshire nonprofits and for New Hampshire. Really everyone coming together to support all of the things that really make our lives better.
Perfect. Kathleen, we're going to roll some videos from, correct me if I say this wrong, Monadnock. Right? Pretty good, right? For a South Carolinian. And then we're going to play some videos from the central region. And then we'll be back with some live group coverage with Michelle Talwani. We've got Erin Ennis from Front Door Agency, Lisa Brett Solsky from Granite State Independent Living, and Anne-Marie French from NH Fiscal Policy Institute will be our first lineup at 8 a.m. So Kathleen, we'll see you in the comments. We'll see you at PBS Studios later on today. And thanks for waking up early with us. And we'll catch you later, all right?
All right. Thanks, Chris.
Hi, everybody. My name is Ellen.
All right, perfect.
And I have the pleasure of serving as the executive director for the Community Volunteer Transportation Company. We're based in Peterborough, and we serve 34 towns in the Monadnock region. Our mission is to provide transportation options, especially for those people who, for whatever reason, are without access to transportation. We wouldn't be in business if it weren't for our volunteer drivers, because they do all the work. Our drivers come from all over the region, and they sign up for trips based on their own availability, and we are able to reimburse them for their mileage, and they donate their volunteer time. So our trip purposes at CVTC are non-emergency medical and social service appointments, grocery shopping, going to the pharmacy, the post office, and the bank, and assisting with any other basic needs that might crop up for our riders. CVTC's been in existence since 2008. We started off serving 13 towns, and now we're serving the entire Monadnock region. So like all other businesses and individuals, we've been coping with the limitations that have been put on us by the pandemic. And I am so grateful for our courageous and generous volunteer drivers, because we never missed a beat. We never stopped. Some of our staff worked home remotely. Fortunately, they're coming back to work in the office, but we never missed a beat. And our numbers are going up as far as ride requests, and we're in the process of always looking for more volunteer drivers. It never, ever stops. So we're hoping to get volunteer drivers, about 20 more throughout the rest of the year, and then I think we'll be able to hit the marks that we want to hit as far as our service. I think that when we look at what we do, we're so much more than just the ride. What we are is we provide impact in our riders' health, wellness, and independence. And people's health improves. They eat better food because they're able to get to the grocery store. They're able to keep their medical appointments and their social service appointments to help them through whatever it is they need help with. And it's really an honor to serve people in that way. In the end, I think what CVTC is really all about is hope. And we provide hope with every mile we drive. I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for New Hampshire Gives. And this is we're going into our 6th year along with everybody else. Our experience just gets better and better every year. Like this video, we've never made a video, and I think we're doing a pretty good job. So I'd like to thank all the people behind New Hampshire Gives, and of course a big shout out to the New Hampshire Center for Nonprofits and the New Hampshire Charitable Foundation for providing the ability to match some of our gifts throughout the 24 hours. Thank you so much. Here from the Monadnock region, we're proud to be part of this, and best of luck to everybody. Thank you.
We can agree, these times have been unlike any other. Fear, anxiety, impatience, bouts of hopelessness, loss of routine and personal connection, fewer hugs, more fist bumps. But as a community, we have never been more resilient. Our strength and perseverance are winning out, defining us. At the Keene Family YMCA, our focus has been singular: define critical needs, help to meet those needs, strengthen and connect community. Because of our amazing donors and supporters, we can educate more children, keep more people active and moving, care for more people, and give more where it counts. Serving people of all ages, backgrounds, and abilities is our shared pursuit. Consider a gift to the Y during New Hampshire Gives to join a movement to be a better us. Thank you.
There's something magical that happens in a room full of people at the very beginning of a concert. When the first few vibrations are felt, those first few notes are heard, there's this shared sense of awe that we're in the presence of greatness.
This music is just impossibly beautiful when it's heard live, and it's an experience that just cannot be matched. We absolutely love performing. We have played all over the world in some incredible concert halls. But since we started Ash Wheeler Concerts a few years ago, some of the most special moments have come from the performances that we have given in schools before each of our concerts.
That shared silence, that shared sense of wonder is really something when it involves 300 elementary school children in a school hall or gym.
Their response is so pure, so insightful, and so enthusiastic. It really is an honour to play for them. Especially since in most cases, it is the first time they've ever heard classical music performed live in front of their eyes.
Our message to the kids is simple. As much as this music sounds miraculous, it's just the product of true dedication and hard work.
We share with them how passionate we are about music, and we are honest too, about how there are many, many days when it feels impossibly difficult.
We want them to know that if they find something difficult at school today, there is no better feeling in this world than waking up one day soon to find that by working hard, what seemed impossible at first has suddenly become something that they really enjoy.
Hello, I'm Becky Johnson, and I'm the Executive Director for the Hillsborough Community Center project. I'm leading a team of volunteers who are passionately committed to building a regional community center in the town of Hillsborough. The center is an ambitious project, but our area is in need of the services that a center will provide. It will be a space that is welcoming to all, a space where senior citizens can take in a daily meal and social activities, a safe place for children to learn, exercise, and have fun. The project will be built in several phases and will be funded by grants, bequests, memberships, and donations. Phase 1 of the project will be to purchase land. We need 5 to 10 acres. Phase 2 will be to build the heart of the center. This will include shared space for events, plays, recitals, as well as a full-size basketball court, indoor walking track, fitness room, and a professional kitchen. There will be makerspace for entrepreneurs and a multi-purpose room for games and classes. Phase 3 will include the construction of a full-size swimming pool. This will be great for people who love to swim, for parties, and for competitive swim meets. There will also be a community garden, an outdoor play area for kids, and exercise equipment for adults. Our region faces several problems: an aging population that has very few resources, and our young people are moving out of the area and starting families where there are more resources. A center will provide year-round exercise, learning, and social activities for everyone. It will boost the local economy and support local businesses by attracting new customers to the region. It will provide seniors, youth, and civic clubs a safe and reliable place to conduct activities. Will you please help us build a regional community center in Hillsborough? We need donations and we need volunteers. To learn more, visit www.hccnh.org. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to hearing from you if you'd like to get involved in this very important project.
I'm Liz Chipman. I'm the Executive Director of the Keene Housing Kids Collaborative. We believe that every child should have an opportunity to reach their full potential regardless of their circumstances. Our mission is building the foundation for successful adulthood, and we do this by connecting kids living in households struggling to make ends meet with existing opportunities in the community. We pay tuition and program fees, we manage applications, we tell parents about what's available for children, and we act as a central clearinghouse of information. We partner with more than 30 different youth-serving organizations in Keene and Cheshire County to give our kids access to their programming. We know that there's a real benefit to kids to participating in these activities. It gives kids an opportunity to develop skills like communication, teamwork, perseverance, motivation, self-control. Gives them a chance to come into contact with caring adult mentors. We know that these are the kinds of lifelong skills that kids can take with them long after the particular activity is over. These are the skills that they can take with them into the classroom, into the home, and into the community that will help them succeed.
I am Kaylin Swine, and I love Keene Kids Collaborative because I got to go to Camp Dakota, I got horse riding lessons, and I got to play violin, and I'm so thankful for it because I got to go see more things, have more fun, and learn more things, and also I got math tutoring. And it was really helpful. I got to learn more things about math that I didn't know before, so I'm very thankful for it.
Thank you very much, Keene Housing Kids Collaborative, for what you do with us and for the future of our kids. What do you say now, guys?
Thank you, Kids Collaborative. Thank you.
We love you. Good.
We invite you to join us by supporting the work that we're doing for children living in households struggling to make ends meet. Your gift of any amount will help ensure that kids continue to be able to participate and be an active part of their community and learn the kinds of forever skills that will help them succeed at home, in school, and in the community.
Hello, and welcome to Linda's Closet, a free clothing resource for women. Linda's Closet is located at 43 Cypress Street in Keene. Linda's Closet was inspired by the late Linda Oliver, who was a career professional with New Hampshire Department of Health and Human Services. She recognized a need in the region for women who were, in her words, trying to set goals for themselves. She envisioned providing clothing to women trying to enter the workforce and asked her family and friends to develop a clothing resource using her own clothing. Over the past 20 years, Linda's Closet has evolved from a small, mobile clothing service to the cozy, permanent space where we are today. Clients are welcome to come and choose clothing in a welcoming space. The clothing is donated by women in the community and offered free of charge to any woman in need. We are an all-volunteer organization, and any monetary donations go towards our rent and operating expenses. Thank you for learning about Linda's Closet and for considering a donation to help provide this service to the women of the Monadnock region.
Survivors of domestic and sexual violence are often struggling to see a future. They're thinking about making it till tomorrow or maybe the next few minutes. We're here at the For Now House Shelter, where we provide short-term stays for individuals and their children who are fleeing domestic and sexual violence.
My name is Molly Thomas, and I'm a senior. My name is Kobe Hatchie, and I am the senior this year.
My name is Katie Luscombe, and my daughter is Phoebe Luscombe, and she just turned 6 years old.
Moco has taught me how to be my own person and how to stand up for myself and for my needs and to advocate for myself, but also how to push through when things get really hard.
You know, you find little things in each show to take with you, and I think Moco gives you that opportunity. In all the shows I've been in, if it's not something from the show I take, then it's something from the cast. Make new friends, stronger bonds with directors, show more of what I can do, and I think that's really amazing.
So Phoebe is a big ball of energy. She loves to sing and dance, and it just seemed like a natural thing to do with a 4-year-old. And so she started coming to dance with Miss Danielle, and she just instantly made a connection with Miss Danielle and really started looking forward to coming. She comes home and she practices everything. And so Moco just kind of became like a great place for us, for Phoebe to get out some of her energy, learn how to follow directions, learn to be in a group.
Obviously, the last year did not go the way any of us expected it to, but having a source of stability from Moco, always having classes, even if they were from my bedroom over a computer, always making sure that I had class and was seeing all of my friends and all the teachers was really important to me. It kept some feeling of normalcy throughout the years, and it let me keep like moving my body and doing the thing I love to do.
So I mean, the beginning of this past year was pretty sad, pretty terrible, I mean, for everybody. But then coming back here is kind of like, it centers you, it grounds you into thinking, yes, this world is crazy and it's scary and nobody knows what's gonna happen from week to week, but I know that I can either go on a computer screen or come into class, and that's normal. And Moco gives you the most amazing kind of normal anyone can ask for.
So Moco throughout this past year gave us some stability, and it helped bring a bit of normalcy into our house when all of our schedules and all of our daily routines went out the window. It helped us to remember that Saturday was Saturday, and even though we were at home, we could still join the Moco family and join Miss Danielle and interact with people outside of our house when we were pretty housebound. She's learned to take pride, I think, in what she's developing in skills here. I see her often emulating how to be a teacher, so she's taking in some of those leadership roles as well. So she is learning more than dance here at Moco.
All of my closest friends now are all other Moco students that I never would have become friends with if I hadn't still been dancing at Moco.
There's just an energy about Moco that it's like family every time you come in here. And now even with masks and 6 feet apart and, you know, certain restrictions, it doesn't feel different. It just feels new.
If you could make a difference in the life of an animal who needs help, would you? We're Monadnock Humane Society. Our mission is to strengthen the animal-human bond by promoting and providing for the well-being of animals. It's been at the heart of what we do since 1875.
Our facility here in Swansea, New Hampshire was built in 2000 and funded by the generosity of our community. We serve 44 cities and towns across the Monadnock region.
We have a variety of services and programs, and we care for over 1,400 animals a year. Some come to us as surrenders or strays, and sometimes from other parts of the country where overpopulation is still a very big problem. Our staff and volunteers are here to help, and maybe even introduce you to your new best friend. We have animals in all sizes, shapes, and colors, including small animals in need of adoption: rabbits, birds, mice, chinchillas, and more. Our pet boarding staff takes great care of both dogs and cats, and our award-winning dog daycare offers a way for dogs to socialize and play while their owners are at work or away for the day. Our behavior experts can offer guidance and training for your best friend. We offer many dog training classes, basics such as puppy kindergarten and everyday canine essentials, to advanced classes such as focused Fido, canine good citizen, and agility training. Our veterinary staff is amazing. They spay or neuter our shelter animals, offer dental care, basic vaccinations and microchipping, and examine them to make sure they're healthy and ready for adoption. We have a monthly public spay-neuter clinic as a low-cost alternative for pet owners. For ongoing care, we recommend that pet owners contact a full-service vet in our community. We developed a program called the Animal Safety Net, allowing individuals who are dealing with homelessness, domestic abuse problems, or need to enter into a substance misuse program to get help while we take good care of the pet they love at no cost.
All the work we do at MHS is made possible by the people in the community. We don't receive any state or federal funding, and we're not affiliated with any other shelter or animal welfare organization.
We have an open admission policy, which means we'll never turn away an animal in need. We give every animal the very best medical and behavioral care possible, providing the highest chance at adoption and finding a forever home. What we hope to achieve, our vision, is a compassionate community for animals and their companions. And it's our community members, the individuals and businesses who support MHS, they make what we do possible.
Well, those were some beautiful vignettes. We want to say thank you again to all the nonprofits that have sent in their videos from around New Hampshire. I've got another block of videos to play for you here as we're all together watching that dollar amount climb up to that $2 million mark. So take a minute while you're watching, grab your other phone, grab your daughter's phone, log on to nhgives.org, make your donations right now. I'm going to play some more videos from Central New Hampshire, and then we'll be back with an interview from that region. Then we've got some more videos from the central region. So here we go. And we'll be back with our live hosts at 8 a.m.
When a CASA comes to court, they are giving me their own best information that they can about what's happening in the life of a child.
What you're doing is making sure that the range of services that are available to the child are being accessed.
There's information that I've gotten on my case that DCYF wasn't privy to. They didn't even know.
CASAs do a better job than anybody does in gathering that information, because unlike all of the other players in the system, CASAs are there for the kids.
When I had to be reporting on behalf of a child, I was nervous, but that's a good kind of nervous.
I did struggle and have to really think about, is this something I can handle? Is this something I can cope with?
My one drawback was, how am I going to fit this into my own world?
Am I going to know the lingo? Yeah, that was a major. So once I did my first report, I got over that.
When you're in it, you know, all those like butterflies and nervous anxiety, all that stuff goes away.
I'm stronger than I thought I was, and most of us are when we're helping a child.
Once I had the training and I was in the building, I was excited to see what comes next.
You felt comfortable and ready, but you also knew that you had an incredible amount of support. From Marty Sink to the receptionist, if you have a question, someone will answer it for you.
What CASA volunteers find as they do this work is that they feel very empowered to make some of the recommendations that they make, to stand up at the courtroom and speak on behalf of a child.
I'm perfect at everything. No, I wasn't perfect, but that gave me room to get better. And that's what feels good, is getting better at something.
Becoming a CASA has made me more empathetic.
You can pay attention to the news and think you're in tune with what's going on in your neighborhood, but until you really are kind of in the trenches, you don't see it.
You may have an aha moment as you're going through and say, oh man, this is really good work.
I always go away feeling good. It's very rewarding, and I just take the view that the more people that do it, the bigger impact that we'll be able to have.
I can put my professional skills to work helping children in crisis.
We are facing an incredible onslaught of new cases.
The need has ramped up significantly.
And I would encourage anybody who's interested, find the time, come to CASA and represent, be the voice of the children in court.
There isn't any magic dust, it's just one person at a time.
Don't wait, we need you now. Not tomorrow, now.
To be a mom is to be a strong woman and to put your children first. My boys mean everything to me. I have 3 boys, an 8-year-old, 5-year-old, and a 5-month-old. I don't really have a lot of family that will make you feel comfortable and make you feel that your children are safe with them. It made me feel alone, and it made me feel like I didn't really have anyone to take care of my children where they would be safe and loved and cared for. I love my boys, and I wanted to make sure they were taken care of. When I first found out I was pregnant, I instantly reached out to Donna about a few days afterwards because I knew that I would need a safe place for my son to be at during my time in the hospital. Safe Families connected me with loving people who helped me. First day, Makari went to stay with Lori and John. I felt really comfortable. She was able to pick him up from school, and she was on time, and she did everything that she said she would do. She brought him to see the baby, and they came to see the baby. And it just made me feel really good that she had things planned out. She had things, and she sent me pictures. She texted me and let me know that he was okay and what he was doing at times. So I just felt really comfortable. Lori and John made us feel loved and a part of their family. Safe Families connected me with people when I needed them the most. You know, I feel like I'm taking care of myself. I feel like I just have a really good support system.
On my hard days, I usually don't think about it. I just try to get to the next day and hope that the next day will be better. My legs don't work like other people's, so I have to be in a wheelchair. I take the needed medicine for everything that's going on in my body. My wish is to redesign my bedroom. My wish is to remodel my backyard. It's like that warm feeling, almost like you know something really good is gonna happen.
My name is Deb McLeod, Executive Director of Breakthrough Manchester. Although not my official job description, I like to say that what we do is build resilience. At Breakthrough Manchester, we work with students from underserved communities who are bright and motivated, but have obstacles in the way on the path to college. We also train emerging educators to step into that role of building resilience, to teach through a lens of social justice, building confidence and strength in themselves as they mentor students to do the same. We recognize that Manchester is the hardest hit city in New Hampshire by COVID, and that our students and their families are among the most vulnerable population within our city. Nicknamed already our Summer of Impact, we are really excited to bring students back on campus for our free summer program, sort of summer school meets summer camp. We look forward to providing social and emotional support while strengthening academic achievement and helping to close the opportunity gap that COVID has reinforced. We can't wait. I'd like to present two of our students, Kenyang and Sabrina, to talk about the impact of Breakthrough. They say it so much better than I ever could.
I wanted to better myself in order to provide for me and my family, and Breakthrough allowed me to do that, and I'm really grateful. Breakthrough has made me a better student by giving me a head start in my math and science classes over the summer. Because of them, I became more confident in school, and my grades have improved overall. I had a dream of becoming a scientist one day, but the problem was I didn't know where to start. Breakthrough has introduced me to so many colleges, and I got to meet so many inspiring people in those fields. Because of Breakthrough, I now have a better understanding in what I have to do in order to pursue my goals. The most valuable lesson I learned from Breakthrough would be to be yourself. I was really shy my first summer at Breakthrough, but as the summer progressed, I realized our community was really welcoming, and it has allowed me to become like my own person. Like I was able to be myself, and no one would judge me. And I'm actually grateful for that.
The reason I applied to Breakthrough at such a young age was because I'm a first-generation college student, and my goal was to go to college, and my best friend also had a sister that went through the program, and she told me how amazing it was, so I was like, oh, I need to do this, plus it sounded really fun. My parents are also immigrants from Nepal, so they didn't have the information to help me with the college admissions process, which is why I kind of got a head start on it. Breakthrough has made me a good student in so many ways, but one of the most impactful ways that they have made me a better student is by teaching me public speaking skills. Now, you're probably wondering, like, how did I get public speaking skills from Breakthrough? And that's because every single morning when I was in Breakthrough, we would have to say a cheer. So whether that was Good Morning Breakthrough or one of the billions of cheers that we have to perform, you would have to do one of them. And that eventually got me out of my shell. And now in school, I can give a presentation without being so anxious about it. And I think that is a skill that I'll cherish forever and a skill that I'll use forever because I love talking and I love talking about stuff that I'm very passionate about. As a kid, all I wanted to do was play outside with my friends because that's what summers are for, right? But with Breakthrough, I had to learn that you can still play with your friends as long as you get your homework done and as long as you get all your priorities done first, and then you still have time to play out with your friends. And in high school, I learned how to manage that with going to school, doing homework, going to my clubs, and then finally having time to hang out with my friends. And now in college, I'm doing the same thing.
Your support puts so many kids on the path to college, and it allows them to grow as a person. The power of your giving really does change lives, so thank you.
So why did you start CCC?
Well, after 20 some years of working in clinical social work, and my roots were in social justice in my undergrad as well, I noticed a trend of people who, once they got to therapy, oftentimes weren't able to work at it because they sometimes didn't have a place to live, or they're afraid that their children are going to be taken away, or they can't go to the doctor. And so there was a lot of those lower level, basic needs not being met. And these are people with jobs.
What does CCC offer to people right now?
Well, it's interesting because we started in 2019, it was formed, and then we had a pandemic. Mm-hmm. And so it kind of slowed down our fundraising, our outreach, everything that we would do normally was slowed down. But in spite of that, we've been able to start our programming. And right now we have a food cupboard for people that was started during the pandemic because some of my clients lost their jobs and were waiting for unemployment, and it was taking a while. So we have that. We have case management, which case management is sitting with someone, finding out what's getting in the way of them, living their best lives and being part of the community, and helping them to get resources for that, whether it's through, helping them to fill out paperwork if they do qualify for some supports, or if not, helping to find other ways to support them. And also to be kind of mentor to the people that come in and treat them with respect. A lot of times when people get to the point where they have to ask for help, they feel pretty defeated, and if they go to a place where they're treated as a number, it really turns them off to it, and it hurts society in general, I think. So we offer that. We have a group, a craft group for moms who don't have custody of their children. Maybe they're trying to earn it back through the court system, or maybe their parents are taking care of them, but they're not allowed to have unsupervised visits. So it costs $60 an hour for someone to be able to see their child at a visitation center. So this is something that we're offering. It's free with, if they want to make a donation, they can. But, kids really want to see their parents. It doesn't matter what their parents supposedly did or didn't do. They still want to feel loved by their parents. So this is a program that is very much appreciated by the kids and the parents who attend. And we have the Good Friend program, which is for women starting over. And we also have the Breakthrough program for people who are starting out to get help, know what direction to go in, get some support, see what's available.
Hello, I'm Cheryl Andrews from the Dismas Home. I'd like to tell you a little bit about what we do and how you can help the women we serve. Dismas Home is a residential treatment program. We help previously incarcerated women change their lives and move into a new positive direction. You can help impact the community by making a contribution through New Hampshire Gives. Thank you for making a difference today.
Often when we think of the Franco-American Center and the celebration of French culture, we may automatically think of the country of France. While it's not wrong to think of France in relation to the celebration of French culture, Franco-American heritage goes far beyond, and you can find all sorts of French culture throughout the world. We asked you, as members of the Franco-American Center, to share with us what your French pride looks like. And here's what we got.
A celebration of French-Canadian pride. Pride from Old Mines, Missouri. Pride from our FAC interns. Pride from Mardi Gras celebrated in New Orleans.
As you can see, our pride and celebration of French culture and heritage is spread far and wide, and it's through these celebrations that we spread awareness of the Franco-American population around the country.
I have a landline phone. I decided to move it to the other room. It doesn't ring.
All right, everybody's going to be on screen here in a second.
And be excited about the $2 million.
Okay, when the music stops, we're good.
Okay. Welcome back, everyone, to the New Hampshire Gives live stream. I'm Michelle Talwani with the New Hampshire Community Loan Fund. We hope that you enjoyed those great clips from the participating nonprofits. I know for me, it was great to learn about the amazing work that's going on throughout New Hampshire. But have you been watching the numbers climb at newhampshiregives.org? We have raised over $2 million. Woo! Amazing. And that is thanks to the 7,300 donors giving to the 551 nonprofits. So thank you. Thank you, New Hampshire, for showing off your spirit and generosity. There are still 4 chances to get your donation matched through the site-wide match made possible by the New Hampshire Charitable Foundation and its donors. Get ready to give at 9, noon, 3, and 4. In addition, check out the matches page on newhampshiregives.org to learn about the currently active matches for individual nonprofits. But we can't forget about the prize incentives. Everyone loves winning prizes. Giving to your favorite nonprofit at any time during New Hampshire Gives enters them to win a random drawing called the Golden Tickets. Currently, we're in the coffee break Golden Ticket period. I've got my coffee. I hope you do too. For every online donation, an organization receives between 8 and 10 a.m. today. They're entered for a drawing at 10 a.m. All online donations also count towards end-of-day prizes, where organizations with the most dollars raised online and most unique donors will win regional and overall prizes. But in addition to these golden tickets, don't forget about the P2P prize. This prize will be awarded to the organization that has raised the most dollars through peer-to-peer fundraising between 5 p.m. yesterday and 10 a.m. Today. And nonprofits who submit a screenshot of a New Hampshire Gives social media post that they posted between 5 p.m. on June 8th and 11 a.m. on June 9th will be entered into a drawing for the Show Your Spirit prize. All screenshots must be submitted prior to 11 a.m. today. See the incentive page on newhampshiregives.org for submission information. But speaking of prizes, we should have a winner to announce for the Rise and Shine Golden Ticket. Are we ready to go to Prize Central?
Has to happen. Good morning, everyone. Are you guys ready to find out who won? The Rise and Shine Golden Ticket is for organizations who receive donations between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. All organizations who received a donation were entered to win. So the winner of the Rise and Shine Golden Ticket is the New Hampshire Preservation Alliance. Congratulations to the New Hampshire Preservation Alliance. You'll receive an email with more information about your prize. Tune in at 10 a.m. back here at Prize Central to find out who wins the Coffee Break Golden Ticket. Thank you.
NH Gives is New Hampshire's largest single day of giving to the nonprofits that make all of our communities better places to live.
This year, New Hampshire Gives is going to run for 24 straight hours, kicking it off at 5 p.m. June 8th, running to 5 p.m. June 9th at nhgives.org.
And you'll be able to give to any one of 550 different agencies of your choice.
Give as little as $5 if you want.
And we can match it to double
Can
your
you
money.
guys hear me
Remember,
okay?
June
I had
8th,
to switch
5
to my
p.m.,
phone.
nhgives.org.
Thank God. You could not hear me on my computer.
Great. How exciting to win prizes. We all love to win prizes. And those hosts that were on last night and just on that video are fantastic. Now I'd like to welcome Tana Clues of the New Hampshire Women's Foundation to talk about a special match that the Women's Foundation is offering. Welcome, Tana. Tell us more about the match.
Hi, good morning. How are you? You're up bright and early.
Got my coffee.
That's right. We need at least a couple cups. Yes, so this year the Women's Foundation has decided to match. Today at noon, we'll be running a $10,000 match for organizations that support women and girls here in New Hampshire. And we're really excited to do this. As you may or may not know, only about 2% of philanthropic dollars go to organizations that support women and girls. So we thought this was a great opportunity to incentivize giving to these organizations.
Wow, that is amazing. Very generous offer. Can you tell us just a little bit about the New Hampshire Women's Foundation?
Absolutely. So the Women's Foundation is the only foundation in the state solely giving to organizations that support women and girls. We give about $100,000 this year, $150,000 to organizations across the state and every county that serve, as I said, women and girls. And our mission at the Women's Foundation is to invest in opportunity and equality for women and girls here in New Hampshire. And we have 4 areas of focus: research, education, advocacy, and grant making. So besides our grant making, we have a strong research portfolio. We run a Women Run program to train women to run for office. And then obviously we do a fair amount of advocacy in the legislature on behalf of women and girls.
Amazing. Great work. How do people find out about this match? Like, where can they go for the details to say, like, maybe we can qualify, but to find out, how do we qualify?
Great question. So right there on the front page, you'll see that they're on nhgives.org. You'll see, if you scroll down just a little ways, it lists our match again, which is at 12 o'clock today. And like all the other matches, we'll match $250 per gift for all of these organizations. But if you want to specifically see where that is, under info on New Hampshire Gives, so click on info, and then below that is NHWF match, and it lists those organizations. There's 32 organizations that have selected women's issues. If you're not familiar, again, with the New Hampshire Gives website, for those of you who are watching, it's really easy to filter out the organizations you're most interested in. And one of the categories you can select is women's issues, and you'll see those organizations that are eligible for our match.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Tana. What a great opportunity for those organizations that are touching and changing the lives of women in New Hampshire. Is there anything that I haven't asked that I feel like I should have asked that you wanted to tell people?
Absolutely not. And don't forget that it's not just at 12 o'clock today, but really be giving to those organizations that you're most passionate about, and don't forget those that support women and girls.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So now it's time to bring on our other guests. This hour features Merrimack Valley nonprofits, and joining me are Nicole Ennis of the Front Door Agency, Lisa Britt-Solsky of Granite State Independent Living, and Anne-Marie French of the New Hampshire Fiscal Policy Institute. I'm Michelle Talwani, and I am the Director of Community Relations at the New Hampshire Community Loan Fund. We're a nonprofit that provides lending where traditional lending institutions are not able. Our focus is to help people of low to moderate incomes with affordable housing, childcare, nonprofits, and small businesses who typically hire people without a 4-year college degree. Money raised for through New Hampshire Gives today will be used for the customized coaching and technical assistance we provide to our borrowers. And we actually do have a match this morning of $5,000. So we're excited about that and really grateful to our donors for putting up a match. And now, Nicole, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Good morning, everyone. My name is Nicole Ennis. I am the Chief Development Officer at the Front Door Agency. We are a local nonprofit serving the greater Nashua area, and we invest in individuals and families as they transition from crisis to self-sufficiency. We offer a hand-up opportunity to any of our clients to help them prevent homelessness. And we do that through a few different programs, one being our housing stability program that's open to any individual and family that may need some assistance, whether it be back rent, help with utilities, security deposit loan. With the high cost of rent right now, it's really difficult for a lot of our clients, especially with COVID-19. Another program which is more popular is our transformational housing program, which helps single mothers and their children as they transition from crisis, which could be of any certain kind, whether it be addiction, whether it be abuse. We have a 3-phase transformational housing program where women really focus on education. We feel that education is what breaks the cycle of poverty. We can offer them affordable rent. We can offer them services, but until they get to that next level of education, they can't break that cycle of poverty. So we're excited to participate in New Hampshire Gives, and the funds that we receive will help directly support the women in our program and our transformational housing program with utilities, with their basic needs, transportation for them and their children, educational opportunity, and extensive case management to help them get through the phases and ultimately flourish in our program.
Well, Nicole, a very holistic approach to helping people. That sounds wonderful.
Thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome. Lisa Britt, tell us a little bit about yourself and the organization you're representing.
Good morning, everyone. As Michelle said, I'm Lisa Britt Solsky. I'm the Vice President of Strategy and Corporate Development at Granite State Independent Living. GSIL, as all of us in the know refer to us, we are the statewide independent living center. We support people that experience disabilities in every aspect of their life. We run 20 different services and programs that empower and enable people with disabilities to live independently on their own terms in community. So among the portfolio of services are in-home personal care services. So this is just help getting people up and out the door in the morning and then getting home, getting fed, and going to bed every day. Things that I think a lot of us take for granted, frankly. But that is the lifeblood of the organization. We also do a lot of work in home modifications. So anything to make your house accessible given your particular disability. So anything from grab bars to changing out all of the doorknobs to be louvers instead of twisty knobs. We widen doorways so that people can move through with their wheelchairs more easily. And we do ramps inside and out, right? Because you got to be able to get in the house to experience the full independent living. We do transportation, so wheelchair accessible transportation for all aspects of whether it's shopping, getting to work, getting to social events. We do educational programs and job access. Again, everything is designed to help a person with disabilities overcome whatever barriers are preventing them from living as fulfilling and independent a life that everybody else is enjoying. We do have a match from our generous board of directors, and I am delighted to say we met our match at about 10 o'clock last night. So, yay! And proceeds today, I hope, will go towards really leaning into our biggest challenge right now, which is workforce. I know everybody is talking about that, but like I said at the top, the lifeblood of our organization is the tireless staff that go into people's homes every day to help them with all of that personal care so that they can be independent and live life on their own terms. So we need to hire a lot more people like everybody else. So I'm hoping we can really lean in on retention and recruitment.
Thank you, Lisa Britt. What really strikes me about what you said was that, it's soup to nuts of what you offer, but in such a respectful way that clients get to choose how and what kind of services they want and need. So kudos to Granite State Independent Living for that approach. And now I would like Anne Marie to tell us a little bit about herself and the work that she does.
Yes, thank you, Michelle. Good morning. I'm Anne Marie French. I'm Executive Director of the New Hampshire Fiscal Policy Institute. NHFBI is an independent, nonprofit, nonpartisan policy research organization based in Concord. We're dedicated to exploring, developing, and promoting public policies that foster economic opportunity and prosperity for all New Hampshire residents, with a focus on low and moderate income families and individuals, and on the state's most vulnerable residents. Much of NHFBI's work centers on the state budget, on the revenue system that supports public services and meets public needs, and on public policies that are aimed at improving the health and well-being of New Hampshire residents. NHFBI produces regular reports on the fiscal and economic challenges facing the state, and we serve as a resource for other nonprofit organizations, for policymakers, for media, other government organizations, all looking to understand and improve public policy in the state. During the last year, we focused extensively on the health and economic impacts related to the COVID-19 crisis. NHFBI's data-driven research and analysis aids policymakers and the public in understanding the effects of the crisis on New Hampshire residents. You'll find all of our resources and publications at our website at nhfpi.org. This economic crisis, this health and economic crisis, has clearly and disproportionately impacted those with the fewest resources and opportunities. Individuals and families with lower and modest incomes, people with underlying health conditions and disabilities, and certain racial and ethnic groups have historically been disadvantaged and remain underserved. These factors contribute to higher total health and economic risks for these Granite staters. And it's important to recognize that many Granite staters were already struggling before the COVID-19 crisis began. And at the onset and throughout the crisis, New Hampshire's nonprofit sector, which is so vital to delivery of health and social services in the state, really rose to the occasion in amazing ways. Here in New Hampshire, we have traditionally relied heavily on our nonprofit sector to provide the services and supports to meet critical needs of low income and vulnerable populations, many of whom were disproportionately impacted by this crisis. Many of our nonprofits really depend on donations to support their vital work. And New Hampshire Gives really provides a platform, not just to celebrate their amazing work, but also to help them to raise those vital resources to continue to meet these needs. And as we try to understand how residents are faring economically in the state, it's important to remember that New Hampshire's top line numbers mask the reality for many Granite staters. While New Hampshire has a relatively low overall statewide poverty rate, the poverty rates within New Hampshire are much higher for populations of color and for families with young children, particularly so for single-parent households with children. In fact, the most recent data from before the crisis, poverty levels were substantially elevated for single female-headed families in particular. Notably, about 1 in 3 families headed by a single woman with children under 5 lived in poverty in New Hampshire prior to the pandemic. But the poverty rate does not capture the complete picture either. So many families and residents struggle with limited incomes. They struggle to afford basic household expenses. In fact, prior to the pandemic, 1 in 5 households in New Hampshire had only $35,000 a year in annual income. So the effects of this crisis were very challenging for them, and they had limited savings for a rainy day. Housing costs in particular are a major challenge for Granite staters, as Nicole mentioned. And in fact, the most recent estimates show that nearly half of renters in the state pay more than 30% of their income on housing, rent, and utilities. This leaves the households with very limited for other things and increases the risk of housing instability and homelessness. The crisis also demonstrated the important role that home and community-based care services provide for our ability to meet the needs of people in their homes. And prior to this crisis, New Hampshire was already struggling with workforce challenges, struggling to meet the needs of residents due to this shortage. And the crisis really highlighted the importance of enabling people to stay in their homes safely and for us to be able to meet their needs in that way. So this New Hampshire Gives event will support NHFPI's research and analysis in these and other areas to provide facts and information that will contribute to efforts to address critical issues and to help ensure New Hampshire uses its available resources to foster an equitable, inclusive, and sustainable economy.
Wow, Anne-Marie, that was a lot to digest, but great information. Your organization does such amazing work that many of us actually utilize when we do our own advocacy or fundraising, and lots of conferences that we go to use the data that you provide. So thank you for that, and I think you did a fantastic job sort of queuing up our next segment, which I'm looking at the time. I just want to make sure that maybe over the next like a 60-second story, Lisa Britt. I know that community and home-based care is really important to you, but if you could give us a quick story about Granite State Independent Living.
Sure. Thanks, Michelle. So as Anne-Marie said, it came into sharp relief over the course of the pandemic just how critical home and community-based care is. And that's because New Hampshire, regrettably, was #1 in the country for fatalities from COVID in nursing facilities. For consumers at GSIL, if we cannot provide the wraparound services that they need in their home, their only other option is a nursing facility. And what we know from 20 years of trying to rebalance long-term care is that people prefer to be at home It is more cost effective for the payers for people to be at home. And now we have sort of a third leg of that stool, that it is phenomenally safer in a pandemic to be at home. So while New Hampshire had, almost 1,500, I think, fatalities writ large, most of which were in nursing facilities, at Granite State Independent Living, we serve hundreds of people in their homes with hundreds of other people as their caregivers. We had fewer than 20 consumers and staff combined come down with COVID, and we had 0 fatalities.
Wow.
So, this is an incredible time to invest in a more cost-effective service delivery model that provides people with independence and health integrity.
Thank you, Lisa Britt. That is amazing, those numbers and lives really saved by being able to be home and cared for there. Nicole, give us a little story about the Front Door Agency.
Sure. So I just want to mimic what Anne-Marie said, that many of our individuals and families that we serve were struggling prior to the pandemic. So the nonprofits really had to rise to the occasion to support all these people in our community. And I'm just going to share a quick story about one of the single mothers in our transformational housing program who has since graduated through the pandemic. But Sarah came to us about 1.5 years ago, a single mother who had struggled with addiction and actually made the decision to leave an unhealthy relationship. She had never lived on her own, didn't know what to do, hadn't graduated from high school, and she had twin 8-year-olds. She came into our program. She said she crossed her fingers and hoped she'd be accepted into the program, but she made quick positive changes to help herself and her children. Got her GED, and she actually, like I said, our focus is education. She went to school to get her certification to be a certified recovery support worker. She wanted to give back to people that had helped her. Received her certification. She took advantage of every opportunity, financial literacy classes, camp for her kids, childcare opportunities, and really, really excelled in the program. She's since graduated and is living on her own. She says she pays all her bills on time, sometimes early, but never late. I was really proud to hear her say that. And she just recently started a job about 3 months ago at a local hospital, and she is a certified recovery support worker. She's actually on the streets going out and helping people that are struggling with addiction. And I just think it's an amazing story of how she was able to come full circle, and she really just needed that hand up. She needed someone to give her that confidence and make those positive changes, and we're just super proud of her.
Well, the work that you do at the Front Door Agency is really impactful. Really appreciate you sharing that story, Nicole. And at the New Hampshire Community Loan Fund, part of our work is really normalizing good, safe, manufactured home loans that otherwise are hard to get on the conventional banking system. We offer technical assistance and coaching to buyers through the entire mortgage process. We help to normalize homeownership for hardworking people in the state who can't afford the cost of a $360,000 home, but can afford a brand new manufactured home at $70,000. A recent home buyer who works in the medical field and who is a longtime renter just purchased a brand new 2-bedroom, 1-bath manufactured home in one of our resident-owned manufactured housing communities. She sent us a thank you note that said the day they were able to close on their loan was the best day of their lives outside of their marriage. So really helping to connect those with low to moderate income to home ownership to build wealth for them is really important for us. In all of our lending programs, whether it's to childcare centers, nonprofits, small businesses, to resident-owned communities who want to buy the land underneath their manufactured home, or to our single-family manufactured housing loan program, we offer customized coaching and technical assistance to guide people through the process and then beyond when they get the loan if they need it. And that's what we're raising money for through New Hampshire Gives. So that's a little bit about each of our organizations. I thank you all so much for participating with me today, and appreciate Tana Clues for coming on and telling us about the match for women and girls in the state. Very appreciative to the New Hampshire Center for Nonprofits, the New Hampshire Charitable Foundation and their donors, and all the donors across the state who have participated in New Hampshire Gives thus far. I saw the ticker just a minute ago, and we were over $2.1 million. So, and when we started this conversation, woo, right, LB? When we started this conversation, it was just had reached the $2 million mark. So we have more to come. People can give all day long, I think until 5 o'clock. And then I think we have some great clips from some more organizations to show. So thank you so much. Keep donating. We have a great, strong nonprofit sector in New Hampshire. Go on to newhampshiregives.org, find the organization that fits what you want to support, and I'm sure they'll be super appreciative. I know from the New Hampshire Community Loan Fund, we appreciate our donors and supporters as well. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Mary McCarthy Hogan and I'm the president of the Greater Derry Arts Council. We promote the arts, just like this beautiful mural that's behind me. We also operate and maintain the iconic Derry Opera House right downtown here in Derry. Since 1904, our performance stage has been the scene of countless plays, musicals, concerts, dance recitals, galas, graduations, and even televised presidential debates. That has put us on a national map. But unfortunately, our stage is in need of repair, and it's going to cost over $100,000 for the project. We really could use your help. Kindly go to the newhampshiregives.org website and search for the Greater Derry Arts Council giving page. Any size donation will help us to restore our stage and get back to some amazing performances right downtown here in Derry. Because as you know in theater, the show must go on.
One of the greatest gifts and also the greatest challenges of early recovery is rediscovering meaning in life. Every single painting on our walls cries out, "I was here, I matter."
A month ago when I came into Hope, I just felt very accepted. I felt like I had a place where I could go and be safe and utilize things like art that I enjoy doing, and I would be supported.
Hope means a lot of things. It's a glimmer. You can see beyond what you've been in the past. There's second chances, there's hope for a better life, hope for getting your kids back, there's hope for just being happier. And there's so many new opportunities since hope has come into my life. And I didn't have hope before when I was still drinking. I didn't have a belief in anything. If there's one thing I can believe in, it's hope.
Under the sea,
My name is A. Robert Dion, Artistic Director of the Majestic Theater and Administrator to the Ted Herbert Music School. This past year has shown us how important music and theater is to our kids, their families, and our community. Your support this past year, amidst a pandemic, has allowed us to not only successfully continue bringing music and theater to the community, but also has helped us pave the road to many more years of Majestic Theater and Ted Herbert Music School. We can't thank you enough for your loyalty, your support, your encouragement, and for allowing us to keep the music and theater alive.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Bill Brewster, Vice President, New Hampshire Regional Market Leader for Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare. We're delighted to be able to present the Healthy Community Impact Award this year to a very deserving organization, and one that is very much aligned with Harvard Pilgrim's own mission of building healthy communities. I'm so pleased to present this year's Healthy Community Impact Award to Meals on Wheels of Hillsborough County, formerly known as St. Joseph Community Services. When New Hampshire seniors are asked about where they would like to age, the overwhelming response is that they would prefer to remain at home. Meals on Wheels makes it possible for their clients to live healthier and more independent lives at home by providing food, wellness checks, and information about community services that can further enhance their physical and emotional health. These regular check-ins are vital for socially isolated participants and became even more critical during the pandemic, as Meals on Wheels was one of the only in-home programs to continue to provide essential services in the region. The importance of their services is underscored by their clients, and a recent survey in which 69% reported Meals on Wheels as their primary source of daily nutrition. And 95% reported feeling safer because of wellness checks performed by their trained drivers. For 43 years, Meals on Wheels of Hillsborough County has helped to combat hunger and isolation for tens of thousands of vulnerable older and disabled adults. And there's no question that their services save lives. Please join me in the New Hampshire Center for Nonprofits in congratulating Meals on Wheels of Hillsborough County, this year's recipient of the Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare Healthy Community Impact Award, and welcoming John Eriquezo, Executive Director, to accept this award. Thank you.
Hey everybody, I want to say thank you to Harvard Pilgrim for giving us this award. We're humbled and very honored to get such an award. I know that the pandemic has been difficult for everybody, and I'm amazed at how the nonprofit sector really stepped up in this time of need. Anywhere we needed something, we were able to call upon one of our friends or partners at other nonprofits, and they gave us what we needed. We all stuck together, and that's what helped us. That's what helped us get through all of this. So I want to thank all of you. You know, it's interesting, since we started this name change for our organization from St. Joseph Community Services to Meals on Wheels of Hillsborough County, I've been getting all kinds of congratulations for joining Meals on Wheels. I think that is a great indicator of why we had to change our name, so that people knew who we were and what we did. So anyway, thank you again for this award. As always, I want to thank Center for Nonprofits for what they do for us and how they support nonprofits, and of course Harvard Pilgrim for all they do. They've been a great supporter all these years. So thank you very much. Take care.
Hi, I'm Robert Turney, Executive Director of NeighborWorks Southern New Hampshire, and we're at 459 Granite Street today on the west side of Manchester. And NeighborWorks Southern New Hampshire has been involved for over 28 years in providing affordable housing, new opportunities of affordable housing, revitalizing neighborhoods, community building and engagement, and really providing the education and tools and resources that folks need to make good, informed decisions about their housing needs. And so here on the west side of Manchester, we've developed more than 15 or 16 properties now to help really improve the quality of the neighborhood and improve the quality of the housing stock. And 459 is the latest property that we've developed. It's a 4-family rental property that a family will be soon moving into today. To have a family live here after the building has been in such horrible condition for such a long period of time, and NeighborWorks was able to buy the property, and through the support of the New Hampshire Community Development Finance Authority, be able to secure tax credits to help finance the renovations and the improvements of this building.
I'm really glad the way the building came out with these happy yellow doors. It just makes the building smile and shine on the rest of the neighborhood.
It really does tend to brighten things up. You know, at one point in time, this building had a big red X on the front of it, which meant that if it caught on fire, the city wasn't going to save the building. They were going to let it burn down. And really, it has such a great historic significance to the neighborhood, one of the oldest buildings in the neighborhood. And so for our part of neighborhood revitalization and community stability, we felt it was important to save the building and bring it back and preserve it and provide affordable housing in this neighborhood. So over the last 28 years, I would say NeighborWorks Southern New Hampshire has literally helped thousands of families through our education programs, for first-time home buyer and financial literacy counseling. And we have literally housed thousands of people in our more than 500 now rental apartments across Southern New Hampshire. CDFA is a terrific organization to work with. I refer to them as one of the best kept secrets in the state, and that's unfortunate. They should be more widely known across the state because they're a great resource for organizations like ours, as well as for towns and municipalities to be able to access a wide variety of resources that folks aren't always aware of.
Good morning. We are here in Salem, New Hampshire at Silverthorne Adult Day Center. Our hours of operation are from 9 to 3:30. We are a medical day program, so in our staffing we have a registered nurse, licensed nursing assistants, and a full-time activities director. If you are interested in getting your loved one signed up, please give us a call here at 603-893-4799. As you can see above me here, we have a beautiful star because the month of May is Military Appreciation and Memorial Day. So as we go throughout the center, you will notice some of our amazing patriotic designs that we have going on. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a tour. This is our entrance. Welcome to Silverthorne. To our left, we have our beautiful sitting room. We call it the quiet room. A lot of people tend to come in here, especially at the end of the day, and they like to just sit and relax, maybe read a magazine, book, or just take a snooze, which is wonderful. We are quite busy throughout the day. We offer a light breakfast between the hours of 9 and 10. And then we go into our day with morning exercises, and I will show you the room for that. Here we have Donna, who is our activities director. Hello. And she keeps us quite busy with morning exercises, crafting. We do a whole bunch of fun stuff depending on the national day and what's going on for the month. So like I said, it is Memorial Day for May. So we have a ton of patriotic decor, and today specifically is National Twilight Day. So we're going to be doing some fun facts about that, and as all of our members know, Twilight Zone. So that's always a fun one. But the room I'm showing you guys now is our activities room. So held in this room will be our morning exercises, which is done in chairs, or if your loved one can go ahead and stand and hold on to a chair, they are more than welcome to do that. So here is this room. We also come in here in the afternoon and we do fun physical activity, which usually includes something like a noodle basketball, cornhole, or something along that lines just to keep everyone active, safe, and having fun. Thanks, Donna.
Thank you.
Another fun little decor going on, and in here is our kitchen and dining room. We have Lisa. She's one of our aides here, and also a chef. Not really, but she does do most of the cooking. She's great. So we do our cooking here. We serve lunch from 12 to 1, and we go ahead and eat here. We have breakfast in this room, which again is a light breakfast, coffee, tea, hot cocos, eggs, toast, just a little bit of something. And then we have lunch and we head back into the activities room. So here is all of our decor. And I know that this is a quick video, but if you guys do have questions, please give a call. We would love to hear from you with any questions that you may have. Our telephone number again is 603-893-4799. Thank you so much for tuning in and hope to hear from you soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Welcome to Upreach Therapeutic Equestrian Center in Goffstown, New Hampshire. Hi, I'm Karen Kersting, the Executive Director. And normally we'd love to have you join us in person, but since you can't be here today, we thought we'd take a few moments to share some clips about some of our favorite heroes, our four-legged friends who help us change lives every day.
Lauren, can you tell us a little bit about how working with Clarissa helps students feel more independent and confident?
Well, Clarissa's a pretty awesome horse. She works in both our therapeutic riding and therapeutic driving lessons. And when someone gets in the cart behind Clarissa or transfers onto her back to ride, Clarissa brings a sense of independence and freedom. When her student asks her to walk on or to trot, Clarissa listens. And, you know, when a 1,000-pound animal does what you ask them to do, the confidence that instills in a person and then allows those skills to transfer out of the barn and take with them as they leave the barn and go off to their next adventure.
Allison, could you tell us a little bit about how Checkers and the rest of the Littles help build trust, connection, and empowerment?
So, whether they're working with kids or adults, they oftentimes initially instigate some level of anxiety or fear. However, within a very short period of time, the people that are working with them begin to develop a relationship, and out of that relationship comes trust. Not just trust with them, but also trusting or learning to trust themselves as well. And connection just inherently is a part of that organically happening. So, you know, when you see their adorable little bodies with vibrant personalities, you can't help but connect with one or more of them on some level. And for a lot of people, that is the first connection that they've had in a very long time, or maybe the only connection that they've had in their life. So it's a great way to start to learn how to develop a healthy relationship. This is my friend Checkers, and he works with kids and adults in lots of different portions of our unmounted programming that we provide.
Hi Allison, do you have a story that you can share about how horses offer people hope?
So definitely, the beauty of horses is they are very in the moment because of their prey animal status. They're not thinking about yesterday, they're not thinking about tomorrow, they're thinking about right now. And they require that of us as well. When, you know, if we start to think about other things, they call us out on it really quickly. So actually we were working with a group from a substance recovery home, and one of the people, his very first time he was here, said at the end, he goes, I haven't thought about anything else. And usually he said his mind was racing all the time and he was thinking about everything else and all the things he wanted to be doing, but in the hour and a half he spent here with us, he was only thinking about horses and very in the moment. I actually just had another one from a different recovery home that we work with that also said it was very peaceful and calming and really brought them into the moment and caused them to really pay attention to what was going on right now.
Back, and we hope you've enjoyed your virtual visit of the barn. Boone and I hope you'll give us a call to schedule a tour to come down and get a little horse on you. In the meantime, thanks to all of our staff, volunteers, board of directors, and community members who allow us to partner with the power of the horse to change lives every day.
Hey, is Holly on yet? Hi guys.
I am ready. Hi everyone, welcome back to New Hampshire Gives live stream. My name is Holly Gibson, and I'm joining you today from Moco Arts in Keene, New Hampshire. I'm so happy to see all of you this morning. I'm really excited about the progress that's being made in New Hampshire Gives. It's just incredible to see the spirit of generosity and community that exists in the Granite State. I hope you've enjoyed the clips from all of the nonprofits that you've seen so far. The live stream has been exciting and engaging, and there is way more to come. It's been so great to learn about the amazing work being done in New Hampshire. Have you been watching the numbers? I keep saying incredible every time I talk about this day to people. It really is. It's just amazing. Right at the top of the page on newhampshiregives.org, there is a ticker that's showing all of the numbers, and I was watching it right before I hopped on this live stream, and we broke 8,000 donors. Right now it's at about 8,180, and those 8,000 plus people have donated almost $2.3 million to 555 separate organizations in the state. Amazing. Thank you so much to the community for this incredible, like I said, I can't stop saying it. I have to pick another word, but I can't stop saying it. It's remarkable. It's heartwarming. It's so exciting. All I can say is incredible. You're incredible. The community is incredible. And don't forget, there are still 3 chances to have your donation matched, which means that your dollar goes farther. This is a match that was made possible by the New Hampshire Charitable Foundation and is spread out across the day. So thank you to the foundation and its donors for making this possible, for helping us raise this gigantic amount of money for nonprofits in the state. For anybody who doesn't know, those matches are still available at noon, 3 p.m., and 4 p.m. So have your donors ready. Make sure that they have the credit card information already in, and they're just ready to click donate right at noon, 3 or 4 p.m. to make sure that you can take advantage of those matching funds. There are also some matches available for individual nonprofits, and I believe some regions. That information can be found at newhampshiregives.org as well. There's more opportunities for a little bit of extra. There's prize incentives. I think right now we're in the coffee break golden ticket period. So every organization that has a donation between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. is entered for a drawing that will take place at 10 a.m. And all those donations will also count towards end of day prizes, where organizations who have the most dollars raised or the most unique donors will win regional or overall prizes. There's a couple of other prizes I want to mention right now. There is the P2P fundraisers prize that is going on through 10 a.m. It's $250, and every organization that receives funds through a peer-to-peer fundraiser will be entered to win the $250. That's going to be announced at 11 if you're watching the stream at that time. Then there is, like I said, the 12 p.m. site-wide match from the Charitable Foundation and its donors. At the lunchtime hour, there's also the luncheon golden ticket, and that will just be one winner drawn from all the organizations who receive a donation between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. today. Later in the afternoon, there is the Show Your Spirit prize, which gives organizations the opportunity to share their favorite social media posts that they've made from 5 p.m. on until about 11 a.m. today. If you're considering entering for that, make sure you submit your photo by 11 a.m. so that you can be considered. That one will be announced at 1 p.m. today if you're on the live stream at that point. There's an afternoon tea golden ticket at 2 o'clock, between 12 and 2, and then there is again a site-wide match from the Charitable Foundation and its donors at 3 p.m. 3 p.m. just for anybody watching from the Upper Valley, there is an Upper Valley match as well. And then that's at 3 o'clock, and then like the countdown begins. We had this incredible countdown for the day, and now we're like looking at the end when the countdown for the last hour and what can we do in the last hour is coming. And that is mentioned first by the Time is Ticking golden ticket, which is going to be given to one winner from organizations that receive an online donation between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. There's the 4 p.m. site-wide match. There is a special one that's coming up for an organization that receives a donation from the 10,000th unique donor. So that is going to be pretty soon, I think. It's when I started speaking with you this morning, I said that we were about at 8,100, and we're already close to 8,300 donors. So it's going up. And I'm guessing just based on the number of donors that some of those people are new. So congratulations to organizations that are bringing in new donors, and thank you to returning donors who are supporting organizations through New Hampshire Gives again. And like I said, then there are going to be prizes at the end of the day for statewide and regional for organizations that raise the most online dollars during the 24 hours, and the organization that has the most unique donors during the 24 hours. So all of that is really exciting. If you want more information about any of that, again, it can be found at newhampshiregives.org. So it is now time to bring in our guests. I think I've gone through all the updates that I can give, but this day is just getting more and more exciting as we get closer to the finish line. So this hour features the Monadnock region, and joining me today are Miles Stahman of the Harris Center, Megan Fulton of the Monadnock Center for Violence Prevention, and Sarah Harpster from the Community Kitchen. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm going to let everybody take a few minutes to introduce themselves and their nonprofit organization, talk about what they're raising money for today, and I'll go last. So let's see. Megan, you want to kick it off?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Megan Fulton. I am the Development Director at MCVP, Crisis and Prevention Center. MCVP is the Domestic Sexual Violence Crisis Center for the Monadnock region. We also work with survivors of stalking and human sex trafficking. We serve all of the towns in Cheshire County, as well as 14 towns in Western Hillsborough County. We believe that everyone has the right to live free from violence and a life with dignity. To achieve this, we have a two-prong approach. Through direct service intervention. So that's anything from safety planning with survivors to meeting survivors at the hospital or at police stations, helping them with court advocacy. And then we also have prevention education. We're in about 35 to 36 schools on a non-COVID year, offering free evidence and research-based prevention programming for students ages 3 through college. So that's MCVP in a nutshell.
Fantastic work. Sarah?
Good morning. I'm joining you from the Community Kitchen. We're the largest food security organization in the Monadnock region, but we partner with many other pantries and food security and hunger prevention organizations across the region to ensure that people who face food insecurity in the community have the resources that they need, the food resources that they need, but we also work on ensuring that they have the economic security to reach food security, that they have quality food available at all times. And this, as we're going into the summertime and with New Hampshire Gives fundraiser, we're really focusing on children that are home from school. We work with a lot of other organizations like Southwestern Community Services, Monadnock Understands Childhood Hunger, and others to help ensure that kids are fed in those times when they're not in school. But we also have the opportunity through our pantry program to really ensure that every meal that they might have been having at school, where there's free lunch and free breakfast or reduced lunch and breakfast, that those resources are available to people who come to the community kitchen, and that we're able to purchase those foods to ensure that they have a quality meal throughout the week. So that's what we're working on. And we're really excited to be part of New Hampshire Gives. And as at my last check, we were pretty close to reaching our goal.
Fantastic. Miles?
Hello, everybody. I'm Miles. I work at the Harris Center for Conservation Education, and we love our community here in New Hampshire and beyond. The Harris Center is all about connecting people of all ages to nature. We have 4 main program areas. We do environmental education in schools. We have community programs. We do land conservation and community science. So our 6 teacher naturalists go to schools throughout the region. I think we're in 30 different schools, grades pre-K through 10th grade, depending on the school district. We've done over 50 community programs this year already, mostly through Zoom. That's really extended our reach. We conserve over 24,000 acres of land with 20 miles of hiking trails here in the Monadnock region. Our offices are based in Hancock. We also do community science. So these include things like SparkNet, where we do salamander surveys. We just erected a MODIS tower to help track migrating birds. And we do run the Pac Monadnock Raptor Observatory up on Pac Monadnock. So we're all about inspiring future generations of land stewards and people who care about the environment.
Thank you, Miles. So my name is Holly Gibson. I am the Director of Development at Moco Arts in Keene. Moco is an arts education organization. In a normal year, we see over 3,200 students per year. We offer over 75 classes per week in dance, theater, and young arts. We also have a couple of adult dance classes for people who don't maybe feel like they still fall into the kids bracket, but still want to participate in the awesome benefits of dance and of theater too. We also do summer camp and vacation camps, which are multi-arts camps, and offer kids the opportunity to be exposed to the arts across the board. So we are really committed to the idea that the arts are for all. We know that there is a misconception that or maybe just a perception that the arts are only for the wealthy. And here in Keene, that is not true, because at Moco Arts, we have a really robust tuition assistance program. We accept families from all walks of life. We award over $79,000 annually in tuition assistance, which includes a unique partnership with another great organization in Keene, which is the Keene Housing Kids Collaborative, where kids who live in Keene Housing residences are able to attend classes and camps at Moco for free. So, you know, we do it all here. We're educating students in dance and theater, but we're not expecting them all to be on stage for the rest of their life. We are also offering life skills. We're teaching students perseverance and teamwork and adaptability, especially this year. For the past year, we've been starting at the beginning of the pandemic. We did all of our classes online, and then we've been offering a hybrid model that allows students to be in the studio safely, distanced, masked, and we're doing temperature checks and all of those protocols that are keeping our kids safe. And we're also offering a hybrid option where students can take class online if they prefer, if their family feels better with that option in place. We did our performances online, and just this past weekend and the weekend before, we had our first live performances in over a year. The last time we had students on stage was in January of 2020. And one of the things that's really important about Moco is that we are a safe space for kids in the Keene community. We've been offering this haven from the craziness of the pandemic and the strangeness of taking classes online. We've heard time and time again that Moco has been a beacon for these kids and has provided such a boost to their mental health through this really uncertain time. So that is Moco in a nutshell. And now I think we're going to talk a little bit about the Monadnock region, some of our incredible organizations around here, and kind of how we're building back and building a stronger community following the pandemic.
Well, I just want to jump in on that. As we come out of the pandemic, the conversation around the community kitchen and with a lot of our partners has been about resilience, about building back stronger, about building stronger partnerships across organizations. We really feel like there are plenty of opportunities out there. There's so much talent. There's so much. You were talking at the top of the hour about the community spirit that we have in our region to collaborate and to work together. But sometimes, really we get very involved in our programs sometimes, and the pandemic's been an opportunity to kind of step back and look at where we have opportunities to collaborate and maximize those relationships that we have, and dig a little deeper into where root causes of people's vulnerabilities could really be addressed, and where we could get innovative and collaborative. I know we have a lot of educators here and people really working with youth, and looking forward, and families, I think, is a theme here, especially with MCVP here as well, to dig down and look at where people maybe in isolation can really be supported, where they aren't typically seen. The pandemic has given us a chance to step back and look into those spaces and think about neat ways that we could be working together that before we hadn't necessarily seen, because we were busy working on kind of our core and front and center projects. So that's kind of what we've been seeing at the community kitchen, and we are hoping next year to be launching a mobile food pantry program that is kind of our first step in that direction of reaching out to some of the areas that we haven't been present before, and having a physical place where we have opportunity to collaborate in some of the other communities outside of kind of the center that's being, that we're used to focusing on. So that's how we're looking at it over here, and I bet that every organization has had similar conversations as we come out of the pandemic.
I think a mobile food pantry is amazing. That's such a need, and it meets so many like gaps in service. I bet. I feel like you must have a lot of people who don't have the means to get to the community kitchen maybe, and so having the food pantry coming to them is amazing. We find that that's the case as well. Transportation is a barrier, and in the past, we've done what we can. We've put teachers in studios and in classrooms at places where it is more likely that people wouldn't be able to come to Keene, and also where we feel that transportation is a barrier, even just to accessibility for any family where it's 35 or 40 minutes away. And so we've had the opportunity in the past to send our teachers to schools like in Hinsdale or in Winchester, where it's a long drive to Keene and it might not work with a family schedule. So I think that's so important to have that mobile ability.
Yeah, and just to kind of piggyback off of that, I think the transportation was definitely, and just availability was a challenge for us throughout the pandemic at MCVP. We so heavily rely on walk-in services, meeting with survivors face-to-face, having that ability to be in a confidential, safe space. And then when the pandemic hit, we didn't have that ability. We couldn't have survivors in our office. We went to remote work, and like traditionally, we wouldn't necessarily recommend that because it's not necessarily secure. Things are changing. There are definitely more secure platforms, and that's one thing that we were able to look into, to offering video calls and other ways that we could meet with survivors, because that face-to-face interaction just wasn't an option. And I just also, the resiliency of survivors through this whole thing, I think, is really important. So many people were, with stay-at-home orders to keep us all safe from the pandemic. For a lot of people who are living in violence, it forced them to stay home with the person, who's hurting them. They had to live in that violence. And we saw at first, it was kind of like an eerily quiet crisis line. We do have a 24-hour crisis line because people couldn't call us. It wasn't safe to call because they were no longer at work, or they couldn't call from the grocery store, or wherever those kind of normal mundane activities that we take advantage of. Survivors use that to call us to access our services, and they didn't have that. We saw an uptick in calls for people fleeing, just needing to get out. And again, because of the pandemic, we couldn't get them into hotels. We, weren't able to transition people in and out of shelter as much as, which is all of the crisis centers went through this pandemic. So we're now seeing, sort of the tail end of people vaccinated, that the survivors, they're strong, they're mighty, and they're, calling us, they're accessing our services again. We're starting to see people in person. And I think just we share a lot of resources with other community partners, especially the Community Kitchen, SCS, a lot of different organizations in the area. And having that to share with survivors is huge. and letting them know it's not just us, it's this whole network of organizations who are here for you, just makes such a difference for survivors in trying to start the healing process.
That's fantastic. Your work is so important, and the community is so fortunate to have MCVP here locally. We were talking about transportation, so I want to take a second to highlight another Monadnock region organization that is participating in New Hampshire Gives today, and that is the Community Volunteer Transportation Company. They are a nonprofit that provides transportation around the Monadnock region, excuse me, for those who need it. It started as a grassroots effort to meet the growing unmet transportation need in the region, and it's only grown from there. So, for elderly folks who need transportation to the doctor, or for anyone who is just, in a place where they don't have transportation, they are there and they are participating today. So if this conversation about transportation as a barrier has spoken to you, please search for them on the New Hampshire Gives page and consider making a donation.
I guess I'll chime in here as well about speaking about resiliency of the region. Nature is always important for times of emotional crisis, and we've seen a huge uptick in the use of our trails during the pandemic as people, find a place to safely get out of their house and go connect with something different. We've also been able to expand our programming quite a bit through Zoom as far as reach, and we've been able to upload a lot of our community programs to our YouTube channel. So tons of nature education on our YouTube channel that can be accessed far and wide, and that's been hugely successful for us during the pandemic, and providing even more services to more people during this time.
It was nice to have that resource available to go outside and hike, and I know that a lot of people became outdoors people when they weren't necessarily before. And so I'll jump in and just talk a little bit about the arts and the experience of the arts during, especially the beginning of the pandemic with the shutdown. I think arts are something that it's always there in the background. And unless you are a person who feels really connected to the arts community and actively seeks out the arts and live arts experiences, you might not realize how much of your day-to-day life is affected by the arts. When the shutdown started, we were all sitting on our couches. What were we doing? We were watching TV, we were listening to music, reading books, or doodling while we were on FaceTime calls with our family, wondering what the heck is going on. And even like to the point of people were just watching TikTok and making TikToks. All of that is the arts, and the arts, I think, played a huge part, especially at the beginning of the pandemic, in bolstering people's mental health. If you're trapped alone in your house or your room, if you're stuck at college, but you have that connection through TV and music and through social media, it's really a benefit to mental health to have the arts around. And so I'm happy to say that the arts of the Monadnock region are coming back, and they are building back stronger. There's Apple Hill and the Schwielich concerts. There's the Peterborough Players and the Mariposa Museum in Peterborough, the Park Theater in Jaffrey. There's the Makerspace in Peterborough. There are so many. Raylanmore Opera and Moco Arts. I can't not mention Moco, of course. And there's a Makerspace in Keene as well. Arts Alive is doing a lot of work to bring the arts back in the community. So we're just at the beginning stages now. Like I said, we just had our first live performances, but it was amazing to see the kids on stage, and it was just sitting in a room, socially distanced, masked, and it was a small audience, and of course, but seeing the kids on stage and seeing the joy on their faces and the joy on the audience faces was amazing. And so I'm so happy that is coming back. And I actually yesterday got a kind of behind the scenes sneak peek of the Colonial Performing Arts Center's showroom, which is their new venue. And that was really cool. That's going to be great. I can't wait to go see movies there. And the arts, they're coming back in the region, and I encourage everybody to check them out and to get a sense of that joy that's coming back with them.
Yeah, and I think if you're in Keene, this week is the Art Walk downtown.
Yes, thank you. Yes, it is.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's a wonderful partnership between the arts and local businesses. where all of the shops in Main Street and Keene will hang artists' work. So you can do a whole walk down the Main Street, maybe grab dinner at one of the restaurants. It's really nice, collaborative atmosphere in the area. Thinking of mental health too, there's also a lot of great organizations that focus on mental health in the region. There's Monadnock Peer Support. They offer a lot of support groups, and they have a warm line. There's Monadnock Family Services and MAPS Counseling, which are also great resources for folks who are maybe looking for more specific mental health support.
That's great. I think mental health support is going to be so important as we come back from the pandemic. And I think it's been, having this strange period of time has really been an opportunity for us as humans and us as a community to start to recognize the importance of caring for our mental health individually and as a community. And we're so fortunate in the Monadnock region to have so many organizations that do focus on mental health and wellness. I think that the human services organizations in the Monadnock region are really the bedrock that this community is built on, because without those, we would be in an entirely different position. So Miles, I think this is probably like a really niche question, and I have to ask. Can you talk about the raptor lookout thing? That's really gotten my attention.
Absolutely. So the Raptor Observatory has been operating for, I want to say, definitely over 5 years, and we're keeping data on the number of raptors migrating through that region every year. And there's hawk watches like that all up and down the East Coast as birds make their migration. Here, I've got a little pamphlet about it. You can see that the migration starts in September and goes through November, and the different birds fly through at different times. You can see them. The biggest group are the broadwing hawks that come through in September, and they count, over 1,000 broadwing hawks that go through there. And
wow.
They get a lot of support from volunteers that come and help count the raptors that are very engaged. Everybody brings up their binoculars and watches the sky.
Cool. That's really cool. I didn't realize that was so close to me. So I'll have to check it out.
Come visit between September and November.
Okay, I will. That's cool. I have a 5-year-old. I think he would just love that. So we'll be there. Cool. Sarah and Megan, do you have... Sorry, okay. So we are going to... Great. We are going to wrap up here pretty quickly. Does anybody have any final thoughts you want to share? One thing that you could say to people who are exploring your organization maybe for the first time today?
Yeah, sure. I'll go first. Go
ahead.
Yeah, so we have been open for over 40 years, but we really, we do work a lot with grants, but one of the driving forces behind keeping MCVP open and having such a strong and resilient community for survivors is you, the community member. Whether you're a donor or a volunteer, or you just talk to folks about, what healthy relationships look like, what they feel like. If you believe survivors, if you call out victim blaming, you are really what makes a difference in this community, and how we can see a violence-free community someday. Thank you.
Thank you, Megan. Anybody else?
Sure, I definitely want to speak to that. At the Community Kitchen, we've been here for over 35 years and meeting people's basic needs. And I really see this as part and parcel of everything else that you've had in this conversation. The Monadnock region, I think, will build back stronger. You can see the busy, hard work that's happening every day with partnerships with other organizations. We're putting together boxes that are going to people's homes, being delivered so that they don't have to come out in the pandemic. We never missed a delivery over the pandemic, and we were able to pivot to safe operations and keep delivering our services. But as we build back, we hope that not only will we be meeting everyone's basic needs, but also their mental, emotional, social, recreational needs as we build a strong community back after the pandemic. So if people are looking to invest across your community, and these pieces will be working together to build back stronger.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, and if you're looking to invest in environmental education and conservation, consider the Harris Center. You know, all of our programs are 6-teacher naturalists going into the schools. That all takes resources to conduct, and all our donations go directly into our programming. So, yeah, we appreciate it, all the support.
Thanks, Miles. So I just want to wrap up and say thank you to everyone for following along today. Thank you to our supporters from the Monadnock region and to supporters of New Hampshire Gives across the state. If you're considering supporting Moco Arts today, thank you.
NH Gives is New Hampshire's largest single day of giving to the nonprofits that make all of our communities better places to live.
This year, New Hampshire Gives is going to run for 24 straight hours, kicking it off at 5 p.m. June 8th, running to 5 p.m. June 9th at nhgives.org.
And you'll be able to give to any one of 550 different agencies of your choice.
Give as little as $5 if you want.
And we can match it to double your money.
Remember, June 8th, 5 p.m., nhgives.org.
What's 6 times more engaging than video? Live video. Switcher Studio lets you create amazing live video. Switch angles, add graphics, invite guests, all on iPhones and iPads, and stream it anywhere. Start your free trial at switcherstudio.com.
In 1933, in the depths of the Depression, a single mother of three made the unbelievable choice to start a professional theater in a barn in New Hampshire, 3.5 miles outside of the town of Peterborough. In doing so, she not only created a cultural treasure, an 88-year-old, fully professional equity theater in an unexpected setting, but also created a home for countless artists over the years and an ongoing, ever-present family.
I'm Joyce Cohen. I have been a Peterborough player since 1977.
Hello, Peterborough family. My name is Pedro Caavaloa.
Hello, I'm Savon Martin, and I ended up having the great honor of performing on the Players stage.
The Peterborough Players is known throughout the region and the country for exceptional professional theater, extraordinary artists and staff, unbelievably supportive patrons, a warm, welcoming atmosphere, and a training program that creates the next generation of theatrical professionals, our amazing second company. However, if you were to ask any of our patrons or company members what sets our theater apart, they would undoubtedly use the word home. The Players has a reputation for creating a home both for its company members and our family of patrons.
As the saying goes, once a player, always a player. It's a unique and enduring feeling that has existed throughout generations. In fact, the most common greeting at the opening of our summer season is, "Welcome home."
In the years since COVID took hold, we've seen our family come together to support us in our mission to create exceptional professional theater, to develop the next generation of theatrical artists, and to enrich the community of the Monadnock region and beyond.
As a result, we've spent our intermission not only planning for when we can produce live theater again, but also asking bigger questions. Who do we want to be? What can we do now to help ensure the future of the Players? What's the theater's responsibility to this town, this region, and beyond?
We knew that we had to find new ways to create bold, fresh, safe professional theater outside of our beloved barn. In fact, I'm standing on what will be one of our stages this summer as we bring a production of Thornton Wilder's Our Town to downtown Peterborough. We knew there was only one play that we could come back with. What better way to say thank you to our community and the region for their support?
But all of our dreams and aspirations for the Players can't happen without your support. During this amazing time of New Hampshire Gives, we hope that you'll consider donating to the Players to keep the tradition of creating exceptional professional theater alive and to ensure the Players family grows for years to come.
My name is Linda Harris, and I'm the Executive Director of Shelter from the Storm, located in Jaffrey, New Hampshire. Our mission is to provide transitional housing and support services for the homeless in our area. Your support would help us to fulfill our mission. Shelter became a 501c3 charitable trust in New Hampshire in 2007, and we were able to rent our first apartment in 2008. Since then, we have rented 5 apartments and have helped over 100 families, including 124 adults and 183 children. Our program is run by our board, executive director, caseworker, and over 50 volunteers. Guests meet weekly with our caseworker, and monthly reviews are done by our program management committee. One of the discoveries we've made is that homelessness occurs for many reasons. It does not discriminate based on gender or age, family status, or background. Since our inception, we continue to help over 50% of the homeless in our community. We have learned and continue to learn that everyone is not the same. Even though someone says they want help, it isn't always true. And sometimes learned behavior is very difficult to change. Counseling is not for everyone, but everyone needs counseling. What we have done and will continue to do is to give homeless families the help they need to get back on their feet with dignity. We provide transitional housing, subsidizing all rents and utilities for 8 to 12 months. Guests meet with our caseworker weekly to help work on goals and find the support programs that are available to them. They also are required to meet with our budgeting volunteer weekly to help them understand how to reach financial self-sufficiency. Guests must be working or actively looking for work, save 30% of their income weekly, and fill out subsidized housing applications. Shelter is dependent on grants, donations, and our 2 major fundraisers each year. Due to COVID last year, both of our fundraisers had to be canceled, our Taste of Monadnock and Beyond Food and Wine Festival, and our annual Antique Roadshow. Donations are also down due to the many people who are unemployed, and we're still unsure as to whether or not we will be able to hold our fundraisers this year. Donations would be used to help support our transitional housing program and help to fund our automotive, educational, and parenting programs. Thank you.
The River Center in Peterborough, New Hampshire is a family and community resource center supporting the towns in the eastern Monadnock region. We sat down with a few people to talk to them about the organization. Keep watching. You might learn even more about us than you thought you knew.
I found out about her through my OBGYN when I was pregnant with my first child.
I saw an advertisement that said they'll help veterans and people with who may need help with their taxes.
None of my friends had kids, and I just felt not so much alone, but I just felt like I wasn't connected to anybody.
That's my main goal in life. Like, I just want to help people.
The impact on the whole community is the best part about the River Center, because there's something for everyone. You know, if you're a parent and you're having trouble with parenting, then there's a program for you. If you need some wood for your wood stove in the winter time, there's a program. We have the wood bank. There's money coaching, that if you're an individual of any age and of any income level and you have a question that you just don't know the answer to, we can help with that. Also, sometimes we can't help, but we can tell you where to find the help.
It's a community for parents. It's not a parenting class. It's a support. It's a place to go when you just want to have a good time, when you want to have fun, but it's also a place to go when you need help and you're not sure what to do. So
it's about the community that the River Center brings together, that people from all walks of life that you might not meet in your daily life, you meet there and you end up becoming friends, and it might be the simplest thing that you meet them over, but it's something that you see the rest of your life with.
I have had moms in tears because the Christmas gifts that people provide make all the difference, and that's such a small thing for some of us, but it's a really big impact.
Currently, I deliver meals for the community, Meals to Go, to a few families. I make weekly check-in calls with my community resource families, and I make weekly check-in calls with my kinship families, and I think the most valuable aspect is just making a difference.
There is such need, and the River Center is a big help to a lot of people for a lot of programs.
I think the River Center can be one of the tools people have when they're having a crisis, when it's handled in a way where they feel listened to and valued and not judged.
For anything, whether it's their income or their social status or current problems.
I think that most people just don't know how much we can do. So the River Center can answer just about anything. Like I said, we have information referral services that really make it limitless.
I'm glad to be a donor as well as a volunteer at the center, because that is a way of helping the River Center continue to succeed.
The River Center's changed my life, and like I said, in every way, it's touched a little bit. And anytime that I meet someone and they have questions about what they can do, I always just say, check the River Center. They might have something for you.
Hi, I'm Margaret Nelson, the Executive Director of the River Center Family and Community Resource Center. The staff and the volunteers of the River Center work really hard to strengthen the individuals and families of our region through parenting education, one-on-one parenting support, children's programs, free tax preparation, the wood bank, and connections to community resources. You can be part of that great work through your financial support, volunteering, and spreading the word that the River Center is here for you, your family, your neighbors, and our community. Thank you for choosing to support the River Center. Together, we can make a positive difference in our community.
Welcome to Touchstone Farm. Our organization is an educational and therapeutic not-for-profit with a mission to positively change lives through partnerships between horses and people of varying abilities, ages, and backgrounds.
Hey there, I'm Chris, and I'm the Executive Director here at Touchstone Farm. Touchstone Farm's been in existence since 1974, and I've been a part of the farm since I was 8. We currently have a variety of programs. We work with kids and adults of different abilities. We work with a veterans program, we work with youth at risk, and we have a residential summer camp for girls. None of this would be possible without our staff, an amazing core of volunteers that come through the community. And by staff, I also include our 4-legged staff. We couldn't do any of it without the horses.
Our horses, as you can see in the video clip, allow us to provide the seemingly simple yet amazingly impactful programming that we offer to groups and individuals living with physical, cognitive, and/or emotional challenges. For example, we partner with programs to offer therapeutic equestrian services to teenagers and youth that have struggled through sexual violence, physical and emotional abuse, and drug abuse, or parents and guardians with addictions. Working with our horses and instructors establishes and reinforces healthy boundaries and builds self-esteem and trust in one another in a stable, supportive environment. One of our participants is being raised by her aunt after both of her parents died of drug overdoses. Our program provides stability and a positive experience which she relies on to help her cope with her trauma. We have offered programming to hundreds of veterans and their family supports. One veteran said that our program, quote, was the perfect combination of restful relaxation and physical activity. Most of all, Touchstone is a 10 because of the people. Your staff are all so genuine and encouraging. I am very thankful for how y'all love our veteran community so well, unquote. Another participant said that our program is, quote, extremely beneficial. Loved bonding with military spouses again, and being able to know that I'm not alone in the PTSD struggle with my spouse, unquote. We have worked with students from different areas with a goal to improve each student's grade point average. When a principal questioned one participant, he said, last year you had over 90 days of absenteeism. This year you've been absent less than 10 days. What's the difference? The student replied, the horses. And finally, the mother of one of our students with autism shared with us the joy that she felt when she saw her child smile, because she couldn't remember the last time she had seen him smile. These are just a few of the many stories we have about how our program positively impacts the lives of our participants. Touchstone Farm has certainly not been immune to the challenges presented by COVID. While we had to completely shut down our programming for months, our horses still needed to be fed and cared for. We are still standing because we have been blessed by contributions from the community and our loyal supporters. We were also lucky to receive government assistance for our human workers, but our animal employees were not eligible. As we work to fill the huge hole in our revenue caused by COVID, we really need your help to make sure the basic needs of our animals are met.
After moving into southwestern New Hampshire, I began riding my bicycle on the many country roads that dissect this beautiful region of New England. Following the Walpole Valley Road up into Alstead, I turned onto March Hill Road, and just before crossing the Walpole town line, a small sign with the words Distant Hill appeared on my right. There, I turned into the parking area and took a rack card describing this free-to-the-public outdoor facility called Distant Hill Gardens and Nature Trail. A few days later, I returned with my wife Shelley and we began walking on the nature trail, a mile-long wheelchair and stroller-accessible hard-packed gravel track. There were several signs describing the adjacent flora, as well as the many natural features. From there, we joined the geology trail. This area, also well marked with signage, described the various rock formations, and while the trail is currently best suited for foot travel, work is now underway to make the eastern half of this area wheelchair and stroller accessible. After wandering about on the geology trail, we headed back and came upon the White Rock Woods Nature Play Area, complete with a large colorful pinwheel, several hand-over-hand structures, and a back-to-nature seesaw creation. A little further on, we came upon a boardwalk that transverses a bog. Later, we would learn that this bog is actually referred to as a semi-rich fen that has a more diverse list of plant species than a bog. As we finished our tour, we met Michael Neary as he was gathering another load of hardpack to improve and extend the trail system. In 1979, Michael and his wife Kathy purchased this property that straddles the town line of Walpole and Alstead. Michael related that what once started as a hobby has now blossomed into a love for the land and for the beauty that can develop when humans and nature come together. Over the years, several volunteers helped the Nearys in developing Distant Hill Gardens and Nature Trail, and it is currently recognized as an official tax-deductible 501c3 foundation. The stated mission of Distant Hill Gardens and Nature Trail is to making nature and the outdoors accessible to everyone and inspire everyone, no matter what their ability, to connect with the natural world through education, observation, and to teach the importance of nature-based play and recreation to their overall health and wellness. While the gardens are open to the public on designated weekends from May through September, the Nature Trail, Geology Trail, and the White Rock Woods Nature Play Area are open to the public daily, year-round. To learn more about this wonderful natural treasure, or to make a tax-deductible donation, please visit their website at distanthill.org.
NH Gives is New Hampshire's largest single day of giving to the nonprofits that make all of our communities better places to live.
This year, New Hampshire Gives is going to run for 24 straight hours, kicking it off at 5 p.m. June 8th, running to 5 p.m. June 9th at nhgives.org.
And you'll be able to give to any one of 550 different agencies of your choice.
Give as little as $5 if you want.
And we can match it to double your money.
Remember, June 8th, 5 p.m., nhgives.org.
welcome back everyone to the New Hampshire Gives live stream. My name is Brian Cook. I'm the Executive Director of Revels North, one of the 500 plus nonprofits participating in New Hampshire Gives today. And I hope you had a chance to watch some of the clips from the other participating nonprofits that preceded us, and there will be more to follow us later in the hour. And it really is incredible what is happening in this state and what is happening just right now in terms of supporting the nonprofits that are part of this. So I have been watching these numbers climb since 5 o'clock yesterday, and I'm really excited to report that we just passed the 2.4 million mark. And it's still, oh yeah, very good. And it's still climbing. We have nearly 9,000 donors, 8,858 supporting 556 organizations. So really, what an incredible first half of this, and we got a lot of time left to go. I think last year we broke 3 million. So let's see if we can get there. That'll be our next goal. So anyway, yeah, thank you to everybody. Thank you, New Hampshire, for supporting the nonprofits this way. There are still 3 chances to get your donation matched through the site-wide match made possible by the New Hampshire Charitable Foundation and its donors. So get ready to give at noon, at 3 p.m., and at 4 p.m. during the final hour. And in addition, you can check out the matches page on nhgives.org to learn about the currently active matches for individual nonprofits. And for those of you who are tuning in from the Upper Valley looking to support Upper Valley nonprofits, I would just like to remind you that at 3 p.m. there will be an Upper Valley match. So be on the lookout for that. And also don't forget about the prize incentives. Giving to your favorite nonprofit at any time during NH Gives enters them to win random drawings called golden tickets. We're currently in the luncheon golden ticket period. For every online donation an organization receives between 10 a.m. and noon, so right now, they get entered for the drawing at noon. And all online donations also count towards end-of-day prizes, where organizations with the most dollars raised online and the most unique donors will win regional and overall prizes. And I believe that we might have a winner to announce for the Coffee Break Golden Ticket. Is that true? Deborah, do you have a winner?
I have a winner.
Okay.
All right. Sorry. We are ready to announce the winner of the Coffee Break Golden Ticket. All organizations who received a donation between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. were entered to win. And the winner of the Coffee Break Golden Ticket is the Eleanor A. Campbell Charitable Fund. Congratulations to the Eleanor A. Campbell Fund, Charitable Fund. You'll be getting an email with more information soon. Tune in at 11 a.m. to find out who wins the peer-to-peer prize.
Oh, that's
NH
great.
Gives is New Hampshire's largest single day of giving to the nonprofits that make all of our communities better places to live.
This year, New Hampshire Gives is going to run for 24 straight hours, kicking it off at 5 p.m. June 8th, running to 5 p.m. June 9th at nhgives.org.
And you'll be able to give to any one of 550 different agencies of your choice.
Give as little as $5 if you want.
And we can match it to double your money.
Remember, June 8th, 5 p.m., nhgives.org.
Great. Welcome back, everyone. It's now time to bring in our guests. This hour features the Upper Valley region nonprofits, and joining me are Eileen Lambert of Listen Community Services, Melissa Valcourt of the Spark Community Center, and Heidi Reynolds of AVA Gallery and Art Center. And our other guests, frankly, are the viewers, people who are watching the live stream on Facebook. If you would like to submit your comments, maybe about what you see in the Upper Valley, I'll try to keep an eye on them and have you be part of the conversation too. So anyway, I think let's go ahead and get started with Melissa. Melissa, can you tell us a little bit more about Spark?
Absolutely. Thank you. Spark was founded in 2014 with the mission to welcome in place where the life of all persons of different abilities are enriched through the sense of community. Our vision is to be a vibrant center that embraces a diverse, integrated community where all participants are inspired to realize their fullest potential Our purpose is to serve as a drop-in community center where individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities can feel welcome at all times, where they find programming that focuses both on building skills for independence and building skills towards belonging to a group, encouraging participants to lead happy and fulfilling lives within the Upper Valley area. Mentoring opportunities are always available at Spark, and we allow members of the entire community to engage with a diverse group of individuals. Spark's beneficiaries are individuals with disabilities, their families, their caregivers, and everyone in the Upper Valley who benefits from having a strong, safe, diverse, and inclusive community. The average person with intellectual and developmental disabilities has a social network consisting of 2 friends, not counting their family and caregivers. For comparison, the average neotypical person averages more than 200 friends in his social networks. Try to imagine life without friends, without the friends and acquaintances we all take for granted sometimes, and you'll understand the importance of a place like Spark Community Center. We make everybody feel welcome, and we count on donors' grants to keep Spark Community Center going. So this event today is a very important event for us, along with many, many organizations, and I'm happy to be part of this community. I'm going to pass it on now to the next person. Thank you.
Great. Well, Melissa, thank you so much. I'm really glad that Spark could join us today for the Upper Valley live stream. And so next, let's check in with Heidi Reynolds from AVA Gallery and Arts Center in Lebanon. How are you doing today, Heidi?
She's muted.
Oh,
was Heidi muted?
Heidi, let's see if Heidi's muted. How about we check in? How about we check in with Eileen right now? How does that sound, Heidi? All right, so Heidi's gonna
I think we can hear Heidi now.
Oh, we got Heidi.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, excellent. All right, so okay, great. Heidi,
sorry,
good to have you here.
Okay, I just showed my age, huh? I've been multitasking, trying to post to our Facebook and Instagram accounts, reminding our constituents of things that Melissa reminded me to say. So first of all, thank you to everyone who's donated to AVA, to Spark, to Listen, to Revels North so far. We're really appreciative of your help and your support. A little bit about AVA Gallery and Art Center. We are located in Lebanon, New Hampshire, right on the green. A great place to visit because we are the center of a lot of arts organizations, a lot of community service organizations, great restaurants, great outdoor things to do. So come see us in Lebanon, New Hampshire. We have a 45,000 square foot building dedicated to 2-dimensional art making. There's massive galleries with 13-foot high ceilings and expansive wall spaces, tons of light. It's a really great place to be in the winter. In this building, we have 4 teaching studios. So we teach painting, we teach drawing, we teach digital arts. I mean, people are making amazing things with computers and iPads. And even their phones. And then we have another building out back, which is part of our campus, and it was christened in 2017, and it's dedicated just to 3-dimensional sculpture and art making. So there's a clay studio, there's a stone carving studio, a metalworking studio, and a woodworking studio. So we basically have it all here. We do printmaking too. And so we are dedicated to offering affordable art education to the public. We are here to support visual artists, so professional artists who are trying to make a living doing this and putting these beautiful artworks that you see behind me in your living rooms and your offices. We have, aside from the galleries where we sell the artwork, we have what we call the Members Gallery or the Shop at AVA. So we sell artwork online at theshopatava.com. And also in a cute space that used to be known as the Members Gallery here at AVA, which it represents, well, we have 150 members who are artist members right now, and that keeps growing because we offer promotion and exposure for those artists. And aside from that, we offer free community programming. So for those who can't afford to take art classes, for those who feel marginalized, for those who need a social outlet or a sense of community. We open up our doors to offer free community programs that are grant funded or funded by very generous donors who have a mission to provide to our community. So in particular, we have programs for adults with special needs. So we see folks from Spark here. We see folks from Special Needs Support Center. We have programs for toddlers. We have programs for families, programs for senior citizens, which have are bursting through the seams right now. So you can imagine from the pandemic how isolated everyone's been. And we also have a program for middle school kids and are in the works of putting together a program for high school kids as well to give them eventually training so that they can apply to or start working in the visual arts when they graduate from high school. So professional level training for those students who don't have exposure in their high schools. So there's a lot that we do here, more than just making art, although we have a ton of fun. We have events, we have storytelling events, we host dance groups, we host poetry readings, we host so many different things. So, and all of that takes the support of a lot of people, not just financially, but volunteers as well. So we're thankful for everyone who gives us their time, their talent, their treasure, and their blood, sweat, and tears.
Well, that's fantastic, Heidi. I mean, Revels North is also an arts organization. I'll talk about us a little bit later, but it really is amazing to see how Lebanon is transforming thanks to the arts, and AVA has been around for a while and really is kind of was kind of the start of that. So thank you, Heidi, and thank you, AVA. So I'd like to now.
50 years in 2023. Yeah.
50 years. Oh, that's fantastic. I didn't realize it was that long. Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. So, and now Eileen Lambert of Listen Community Services. Listen does so much. I mean, I don't know if you can even like put it in an elevator speech, but what do you want to tell us about Listen, Eileen?
Well, we're celebrating our 50th anniversary next year. So Listen is 50 years in Lebanon at first and now in the entire Upper Valley, helping people deal with the crises that occur in their lives. And sometimes that crisis is a need for food. Sometimes it's a need for heat in the winter. Sometimes it's a need for help with their electric bill. Poverty can hit in many, many different ways. And Listen is there to help everybody in the Upper Valley with those needs. Now, the unemployment that was attendant on the pandemic, we all know hit the service industries probably the hardest in the Upper Valley because of people quarantining. And of course, the people that work in the service industry are generally the least well-paid people in any given community. So the traffic in our food pantry and at our community dinner hall literally doubled when the pandemic hit and its attendant poverty. So we were on our toes every minute. We have served 47,000 meals out of our community dinner hall since July 1st. And we've had about 3,200 people visit our food pantry in that same allotment of time. And that's almost twice what it was a year ago. So it has a big impact on us. And our goal as an organization is to never say no to a person who comes to us in need, whether they need food or clothing or heat help or mental health services, or they can't figure out childcare, they can't figure out to do it with their elderly parents. That's what we're here for. Now, most people know that we have a thrift store, or we have a couple of thrift stores. There's one in White River, there's one in Canaan, and there's one in the Miracle Mile. Those thrift stores produce about 25% of the money we actually need to run our programs. So we are incredibly reliant on the generosity of the people in the Upper Valley to make sure that when a person calls, no matter what their need is, we can say, we're listening, we're here for you. Thanks.
That's excellent. Well, Eileen, you mentioned that community dinner hall. I've been to that hall. Revels has played some music there, and it really is a lovely, lovely space. It really is warm and inviting, and makes people just sort of feel valued. So it's just one of the amazing things that you do. And I'm not surprised to hear that it's been a remarkable year for you. So I'll just tell a little bit about Revels North very quickly, and then I want to hear more about people's experiences the past years and how your organizations have been resilient. So Revels Revels North, we're actually kind of the new kid around here. We've only been around since 1975, so 46 years and counting, something like that. And our mission is to connect the community through theatrical, dance, and musical experiences that bring the world's cultural traditions and celebrations to life. So we are known for community, we are known for tradition, and we are known for celebration. Since 1975, we've been best known for producing the Christmas Revels every December. The first production was 1975 in Hanover, and that production moved to Lebanon in 2019, in part because we were excited about what's happening in the arts community there. And we also, along with Christmas Revels, we offer year-round, all-ages programming that strives to be available for people of all income levels, including our longtime Summer Revels Festival, the community choruses, the community dances, pub sings, and traditional music jam sessions. And really at the core of our mission is the art of participation. If you've ever been to our Christmas Revels show, you know that part of the show is people in the audience singing along and dancing along. And we believe that all people in this community, young and old, the BIPOC community, the LGBTQ plus community, people with disabilities, people of all income levels, can be part of this experience, can sing and dance and be part of the Revels experience together. And our vision is really to use music and dance to bring together the entire community. And while we focus on traditions from around the world, one of our big goals is for people from throughout the region and throughout New Hampshire to kind of become better familiar with each other through the connections that come from our programs.
Yeah.
So anyway, that is what we do. If you want to go to our website, revelsnorth.org, to learn a little bit more about us, we'd love to tell you more. So I do want to go ahead and, we have about 8 minutes left. I want to check in with everybody about, it's obviously been a challenging year with COVID-19. We're not out of the woods yet, but there are signs of light. And I want to just sort of get sort of stories from each of you about sort of how your organization has been resilient and responded and served the community during COVID. So Melissa, should we get back to you? You have a story to tell?
Sure. So for us at Spark Community Center, we had to shut the center down to in-person back in March, obviously, like most everybody else. And we had to really adapt and bring all our programming online virtually. So we have done so through Zoom, obviously, great platform, thank God for that. And we have gained actually new participants through this experience. So that's pretty awesome stuff. And we have done all of our programming for the past, 8-9 months, all virtual, and stayed in contact that way to be safe. However, we are reopening our center to in-person within another week and a half. So I'm pretty excited about that, but that's we've adapted throughout COVID and tried to just be a resource for anybody that needed it. However, so.
Well, that is super, and good luck with the opening of the new space. I mean, that is, that's really exciting, and also, another good thing that's happening in downtown Lebanon. So Melissa, congratulations on getting through this past year. Heidi, how about AVA? I know that AVA's mission is to bring people inside to look at art, and so tell us how you responded.
Well, we really miss our opening receptions.
Yeah.
Let me tell you that. We throw some smash bang parties here at AVA. 200 to 300 people would come a night on an opening night for an exhibition. So that has not been going on, obviously. We're doing things like everyone else virtually. So virtual exhibitions, everything's online. I'll give another plug for the shop at ava.com. You can click and buy artwork. And that's been surprising for us because we never thought that we'd be able to sell artwork online before, because it's a very aesthetic thing that you usually want to see in person, but people are doing it and we're thrilled because it's supporting the artists who are trying to make a living. Every artist who's supported by AVA is one less person that probably walks through the door of Listen Center for a meal or some services. We also have shifted to doing really creative community events. So this past April and May, I'm really thrilled to say that we recognize the fact that performing artists have been completely 100% shut down since the beginning of the pandemic, and they are suffering just as much as everybody else, if not more. So we had residencies here at AVA for dancers. And because we had these beautiful gallery spaces that weren't being crowded with people, we had Mumos, M-U-M-O-S, is a dance company that is based in New York. They found AVA and they performed 14 different times here in the galleries, along with spending a month here using our spaces to rehearse, to teach classes, to learn choreography for projects that they're planning for this summer. Because you can imagine a dancer who is trying to keep in shape and to choreograph and dance in a 300 square foot apartment that they're sharing with a roommate it doesn't happen very well, right? So we're really thrilled to be able to offer that opportunity. And other ways, our senior art program I mentioned before is just bursting through the seams. And again, it was rocky at the start. We had seniors who were really reticent and tentative about using the technology, but through consistent messaging from us, through talking them through how do you turn on your laptop and get Zoom going, and how do you make sure everyone can hear you and see you. The testimonies from this group of people have been amazing because, and just like Melissa said, we've gained people participating, but they've also gained an intimacy that they never had before. Whereas it would be 30 people in a room up on the second floor, and they would each break into smaller groups of 2 or 3 people and have their conversations during the program. When you're on Zoom, you have to listen to everybody. And so people who have been coming and sharing in senior art for 10, 15, 20 years got to know each other on such an intimate level. And it's been so much more about the art making. That's secondary. The first and primary goal for this group since the pandemic has been to feel like they're heard, that they understand, that they have a community, and then that they're not alone. So it brings tears to my eyes to think about how that has served all of the communities that we're engaging with online. And we're really very proud to have offered that. And to the point where some people have said it's been life-saving. They've decided against suicide because they had this community to support them. So
that's incredible.
It's very moving.
Absolutely. Well, I can also say something similar to that about how we as artists served our community. But first, we'll go to Eileen. I mean, I know that you referred to just sort of the incredible need that Listen needed to respond to in the last year, and maybe just as you're talking about what Listen did, I'm just curious if there are exciting sort of silver lining changes to Listen's programming that were revealed that will carry on post-pandemic. If you don't mind me putting you on the spot like that.
I love to be put on the spot.
All right.
I think, because of the number of people we reach, I literally have hundreds of stories. And I believe that because we treat individuals with such incredible dignity, they're very quick to be grateful. I think when you shame people who are in need, they get standoffish, and I don't blame them, but we consider them our guests and our clients. And so we get notes and emails and stuff. Thank you. So I think the one I'd bring up, which we had to change. So in answer your question of what did we have to change, we've done holiday baskets for the December holiday season, and families and church groups or civic organizations would adopt a family, and you would hear that you had an 8-year-old girl and a 10-year-old boy, and you would buy winter clothing and a couple of toys. Well, we didn't want people shopping. And so we sort of pivoted the way everybody else has been doing for the last 15 months. And we said, well, we're gonna give gift cards. And I think some of the interesting stuff is we usually have 250 people or families that say, I need help to make sure that we have a festive dinner and some presents for the holidays. This year we had 420.
Wow.
So we needed to pull together enough gift cards to various stores, and many of them gave us breaks, and many of them, the co-op just gave us food cards. I mean, there were people just incredibly generous. People were giving us money to buy those gift cards. And I'm incredibly proud of the fact that we were able to give food gift cards and gift cards so people could buy presents for their children to all 420 people and families who requested help. And I get this incredibly lovely note back from a woman. I'm going to call her Sally. Her name is not Sally. And she said, I have never needed help before, but this year I needed help, and Listen was there for me. And I would not have had presents under the tree for my children if Listen hadn't been there for us. So thank you for making our Christmas a real Christmas. And I will be there for Listen when I can be there for you again. So those things I find incredibly personal and touching, because it reflects people's gratitude and appreciation.
Eileen, that's wonderful. That's such a great story. I mean, to take care of all of that need is really remarkable. We have a couple minutes left, and I just want to check in about what Revels did the last year. Obviously, putting on a live show, selling out 800 seats at Lebanon Opera House was not an option in 2020. But this was mentioned in the previous live stream from I think the Monadnock region. Another arts organization talked about how the need for the arts when people are home and isolated was profound, and people just trying to access as much sort of free artistic content as possible, even create art. And so we decided to make a short animated film. It's called The Christmas Revels, All Shall Be Well Again. It's 17 minutes long. And we actually partnered with another nonprofit based in New Hampshire called Salt Project, which is based in Keene. And they have actually won Emmy Awards for their work. And it was an incredibly exciting opportunity for us. So we turned something that was hard and disappointing into something that we hope was wonderful for everybody. And we know that we believe that about 3,000 people, the same number of people who went to Lebanon Opera House in 2019, actually saw our film, and the reaction to it was wonderful. And we just also learned that we actually have an audience that goes far beyond the Upper Valley in New Hampshire. We had people watching this film from all over the country. So it was an incredible opportunity for us to grow our audience, and we hope to hang on to them moving forward. I do want to just say one thing. There was a comment that came in on Facebook from Anna Birch. She says NH Gives is awesome, and I don't think I could say it better. She says that she gave to Beaverbrook and Hollis, Star Island, and Friends in Action. Thanks to everyone for the matching funds. What a motivator! That is so true. I mentioned earlier that there are several other matching opportunities coming. You can find out on nhgives.org. And the Upper Valley match is at 3:00 p.m. So if you're interested in donating to Spark or AVA or Listen or Revels North or any of the others, several dozen Upper Valley nonprofits participating today, consider that 3 p.m. opportunity because that is the one that can possibly help us the most. I think that maybe wraps it up. What do you guys think? Any final words from any of you?
Parting thoughts. It's no matter if you're an arts organization or a service organization, whatever organization that you believe in, it helps everyone in the community when you keep the nonprofit sector alive and well. That's what draws people to live in this community. That's what draws people to want to be a part of this community, is because we have such a caring and a rich cultural and I don't know what to call it, but it's an esprit de corps here in the Upper Valley. We're in the boonies, but we're strong, and we help each other and we stick together. So anything you do help.
In the boonies, Heidi.
I feel like it's the boonies, but I love it. I'm here by choice, and I think most everyone here is. So there's a reason for that, and it's the support that we constantly get from our donors and our volunteers that keeps it going. So thank you.
Love it, Heidi. I think those are perfect closing thoughts. So thank you, New Hampshire Gives, for giving the Upper Valley a little spotlight today. And thank you to everybody who was supporting New Hampshire Gives with their donations. 5:00 will be here soon. So if you haven't donated yet and you're still thinking about it, please go ahead and consider making a donation soon. We really appreciate your support.
We're almost at 2.5 million.
There we go.
Yes.
Thank you
All right,
guys
we
so
have
much.
Thank you,
more
everyone.
clips from Upper Valley nonprofits. So see what some of our colleagues are doing for the next half hour or so.
Bye.
Bye bye.
You guys are great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was fun.
Well, my daughter was in 8th grade when she first started having severe anxiety issues.
Oh boy, we were in a real state.
Well, life was difficult.
My daughter was just riddled with anxiety.
And suffice it to say that, you know, every day was an adventure.
We weren't sure what it was, and it was difficult for him to play sports.
Never really knew whether she was going to get out of bed or off the sofa.
That was the most difficult time in all of our lives.
Those situations really made it hard for him to, get through daily life.
I sought so much help for her. Therapists, psychiatrists. We tried holistic things like acupuncture and all of that.
One of her therapists, about a month after she got home, said, you know what? We need to do something different here. There's this thing called exposure therapy.
And we contacted the school.
I saw your website and I, read all the material I could.
Mountain Valley was going to be a good transitional home for him to get him back on his feet. And there's nothing he wanted to do more than get back on his feet.
And within a few days, we were on your doorstep.
The therapist checked Mountain Valley out, said, give it a go. We were up at Mountain Valley Friday, and the cure began.
It happened fairly quickly, and that was actually quite helpful to not have a long time to be worried about it.
So my daughter did develop a very special relationship with her therapist. I think part of that was the automatic earned trust, because the therapist had gone to college and bailed out within 3 months.
And she was just right for my daughter. She just really got her right away.
And it was especially helpful for my daughter to know this person has been where I've been.
And her peers were probably the most critical part of her recovery.
I think there's a ton of empathy amongst all of the students at Mountain Valley, because they all know they're there fighting with something, and they all know they're there trying to get better.
Not only did they make her feel like she wasn't the only one in the world who had this problem, that was actually the point, was to have peers to both support you but challenge you. They were a very powerful part of the healing process.
If you haven't been to Mountain Valley, you may not understand this, but they actually have a graduation, which is actually a wonderful occasion.
Each student spoke about each student that was leaving, and they all had wonderful anecdotes, funny, positive things to say, and we're very proud of their fellow student for getting through and having the opportunity to leave. Big hugs and tears to all the therapists there that took care of them, from the chef to everybody that worked in the school. It was really impressive. My wife and I were in tears as well.
Because of Mountain Valley and all of the treatment that they did with her, she had choice back in her life, meaning that her anxiety was not forcing the choices that she was making in life, that she was now able to make the decisions that she wanted to make.
Since leaving Mountain Valley, has experienced some moments of anxiety, and I've been with him for some, and I've heard him explain others to me, and he knows how to move through them now.
And that sense of freedom that was obvious for us to see in her was nothing less than a miracle.
It was definitely a leap of faith, absolutely a leap of faith, but it was a very good one.
Peter, any advice to perspective? I would say do it. Unfortunately, Mountain Valley is probably not the first stop most parents with the children with anxiety make, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be the last stop.
Hey, Pommy, I'm glad you're finally here.
Fami, well, he's sort of the unofficial mascot for the Friends of Mascoma Foundation. We're a small but mighty nonprofit that strives to foster educational advancements and the nutritional well-being of students and families living in the Mascoma Valley Regional School District. We were founded in 2014 by a group of committed alumni and community members. Our initial ragtag crew has grown into a vibrant organization. What took you so long to get here, Fami? You're at the salon? Okay. Come on, it's almost time for New Hampshire Gives to start. What's New Hampshire Gives? Fami, come on. It's one of our biggest fundraisers of the year. New Hampshire Gives is a 24-hour giving bonanza for nonprofits across the entire state of New Hampshire. It was started by the New Hampshire Center for Nonprofits, and it's a powerful statewide 24-hour fundraising event. It's designed to build community, connect donors to local nonprofits, and generate excitement about the nonprofit sector. What do we do with the money? Fami, did you really forget all of this? Our three main program areas are mini grants for teachers and district staff, our Friends Feeding Friends food access program, and our scholarship program. Typically, most of the money we raise through New Hampshire Gives supports our scholarship program. But we're a growing organization, so if we meet our scholarship goal, we keep raising money, and that goes to our general operations. How did we do last year? Last year, we smashed our goal, and we're hoping to do the same again this year. Come on, New Hampshire Gives starts now. Put it here.
Hi, this is June Victor, Executive Director of the Lake Sunapee Protective Association, also known as LSPA. We are a member-supported environmental education nonprofit here in the Sunapee region. Our environmental education programs connect children, families, and adults with their natural environment, giving them an understanding of nature and how they fit in. Of special note is sharing information on how land use affects our water resources, as in our Watershed Wise program. We monitor water quality, analyze thousands of samples each year for Lake Sunapee and the area lakes and ponds, search for aquatic invasives, support our loons, and noting trends in these changing times. Our partnerships with local and global research teams gives us a front row seat for the latest discoveries. For more information on our activities, look up our website at www.lakesunapee.org. LSPA has joined this year's New Hampshire Gives, and we need your support. Thank you.
Our main objective is to give back to people, to give back to the community.
The Good Neighbor Health Clinics provide excellent health care for those who would otherwise go without.
Because of our donors and because of some of the grants that we're able to get, it allows us to offer more services that you wouldn't otherwise be able to do. If we didn't have a lot of donors and money to be able to help support us, we wouldn't be able to do a fraction of what we do.
Hi, and welcome to Stable Connections. My name is Karen. I am the founder and the executive director. Stable Connections began in 2009. We are the only certified program in Northern Vermont and New Hampshire offering equine-assisted psychotherapy and equine-assisted learning. So we are really a wellness facility offering quality mental health counseling and also offering educational opportunities using our equine partners. So we have horses here of varying sizes depending on what clients we see. We work a lot with kids in foster care who, unfortunately, in Coos County and Grafton County, there's almost 80 children that are in foster care that have some sort of traumatic situation that's gone on, and they have a difficult time trying to express themselves. So although normal mental health counseling is great and does work for a lot of populations, it doesn't really work for a lot of these kids. And being involved in their therapy, using one of our equine partners here, our little gal pal here, Shawnee, really helps them to open up. Horses will reflect what we're feeling, and we base our questions on what we see the horse doing. So it's really not putting them in a defensive place, so it's easier for them to open up and talk about everything that they've suppressed. Our work here we love it. We work a lot with the veteran population. We also do a lot of team building for organizations, and especially because of COVID, there's been a lot of people struggling with the emotions that they feel, the stress that they feel. So we offer workshops to help with that, team building, morale. We work with local schools as team building for classes where kids might be bullying each other, and teach tolerance, help them with communication. So the area that we live in, if ever anybody is watching this that knows, Coos County, Grafton County of New Hampshire are a lot of our clients, and we also have clients in Essex and Caledonia County of Vermont. All those four counties have the highest unemployment rate, and actually are pretty economically challenged. So funding is a piece that we really are grateful for, the funding that we receive, and we continue to receive, because that way we can help those that are in need here with their challenges. So thank you again.
Martin Luther King Jr. once said that everybody can be great because anybody can serve. Up here, we serve so that anybody can ski. We come for the people. All ages, all abilities, and from all walks of life. For families, and friends. We learn to adapt. and to work with our hands. And when we fall down, we get back up. But mostly, we do it for the same reasons as everybody else. Because it makes you feel free. And feel the wind on your face. It makes you stronger. It's a sense of adventure. And a chance to be together. And perhaps best of all, it's fun. So if the mountains are calling and you want to come play, we'll always have a place for you.
Hello, I'm Bruce Freeman, and I'm the board chair for New Hampshire Lakes. My wife and I live on Bow Lake on a beautiful wooded property that once served as a private camp for children. Lakes are an important part of what makes New Hampshire a great place to live and visit. But our lakes are fragile. Like you, I want to keep our lakes clean and healthy so that my grandchildren and their children will be able to enjoy our lakes. I worry that invasive species, cyanobacteria, or other will change our lakes, making them undesirable or unsafe for all the activities that my family and your family enjoy. Our lakes can't take care of themselves. They need you. Today, you can do your part by investing in the care of New Hampshire's 1,000 fragile lakes. Support clean and healthy lakes at nhlakes.org.
Greetings from the beautiful Blackwater River. Hello, my name is Michelle Tremblay, and I'm president of the Board of Directors of the New Hampshire Rivers Council. We're standing in front of just a part of the 17,000 river and stream miles here in New Hampshire. Whether you paddle, swim, walk along, or just look at a river from a bridge, we all interact with our rivers every day. So every day we work to make sure that rivers have a strong voice at the national and state levels. We're working in your communities. In the McQuestion watershed, we've worked with our partners to remove 4 dams and 3 culverts so native eastern brook trout can swim freely. In the Winnicott watershed, our volunteers are monitoring water quality. Work for you and the rivers you
Okay.
care
Well, Deborah
about.
just texted me.
We
So
do it for you,
whether it sounds
and we
right to you or
can't
not,
do
that's
it
what
without you.
we're going to
Thank
do.
you for
No
giving to the
offense.
New
I think
Hampshire
I
Rivers
think it's going to
Council.
go Jeanine. The schedule on the website is Jeanine, then Tana, and then going to the impact stories.
Okay, but no Katie. You had mentioned
Correct.
Katie.
Correct.
Okay.
That was an old schedule. I'm going by what's live on the website. That seems to be updated more frequently.
Why does this keep bouncing?